Um, there it goes. Hey, welcome to episode 6 of Drawing with Dads. I
Hey,
think.
hey.
Hey, we have
Hello.
hello, yeah, we have Enzo here from Cheer Up Emo Kid, and is it makingcomics.com? Is that the site? Make
MakeWebComics.com.
Web Comics. Oh, look at that. Don't go to the other one. The other ones are crap. Makecomics.com.
Don't trust those
Those
guys.
are all lies. Terrible liars.
Don't trust them.
Let's see. I'm Wesley from namelesspcs.com.
I am Stephen McGee of raindogcomic.com.
Who's from?
Nick.
Here we go. And then of Drawing with Dads. I draw with dads. That's all I do.
Sorry, I got the title wrong.
Oh, no.
Guys, don't use protection.
My name is Enzo, and I'm from CheerUpEmoKid.com and MakeWebComics.com.
Two fantastic
Yeah.
sites.
Thank you.
Two awesome sites, yes, truly.
Oh, my camera just fucking flew away. Ah, hello.
Sweet Boston hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Very nice.
Now you can see me. All right. Nice. Yeah, I haven't actually done a live stream in a while, so I'm actually happy to be back on, and it's great to be on Drawing with Dads. As you guys told me earlier, I didn't have to be a dad to be on, to come onto the show, but I do have a furry child that's in shape like a cat, so hopefully,
Shaped
hopefully
like
that'll be. Hopefully it'll.
It is shaped like a cat.
Yeah.
I'm not
Hopefully
sure what
that'll
it is.
It's covered in fur, and it's
Cats
just in a
being
box.
in my home.
You know what would have been sweet is if you came on and just were like sitting in front of like a whole pile of merch for your site,
Yes.
just like pimping everything for the store. Like, oh, these are my kids. No, yeah, totally. It's cool.
These
we
are
had
my
Megan,
children. My
We
money.
had Megan McKay on. She's obviously not a dad.
Yeah.
She's
She's
not
an
even
honorary.
married.
She's our
Honorary
resident.
dad.
Spirit.
Yeah, she's our resident
Yeah.
girl dad.
Yeah, you know, it's like
Oh, yeah.
we're the dads, and you draw with us. There we go.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Megan's jokes are really great. Like they were perfect. A lot of them are perfect dad jokes. I love them.
Dude, and her site, like her
Some of those
comic is-
puns are very dad joke-ish.
Yeah. Her comic is my jam. I love her stuff. It's like so
Yeah.
Ah, it's so clever, and it's like sweet, but
Yeah.
it's also like sharp,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
cutting too. It's I don't
great.
know.
Let's
It's
call
just a
Megan.
nice little.
Let's just call this a cat.
Let's call her. I miss her.
Oh yeah. Megan, are you here?
Sir.
Yeah.
She was our best guest by far. Just point ragging on everybody else.
Dude,
It got mean.
like I'm right here.
Yeah, we have a guest. We're talking about other guests.
Guys.
Oh man.
He's like, you've only
really
given me 5 minutes to prove myself. Come on.
You're actually the
funny.
first guest. Anthony, you're actually the first guest
Oh,
to
look
actually
at that.
draw us and do art for us
Oh.
beforehand.
Yeah,
That was pretty nice.
you're really winning it, I think, is actually what we're saying here.
Oh, thank you. Why don't we call
That was-
Megan and
that
tell
was
her
very
that?
cool.
Can you repeat
Yeah.
that while Megan is on the call?
Yeah, let's tell her right now. Say nice try, but Enzo drew us.
Yeah,
Nice try.
you would have
Nah.
Megan.
I'm just kidding. It's really funny because like it's kind of like my mom, because my mom always calls me a miracle baby because like she was supposed to go and get her tubes tied a year before I was born, and the doctor never showed up. Just didn't show up. Like she was on the fucking table, and the doctor's like, no, I'm not coming in. So she went home and
Oh my god.
yeah, and she went home and I popped out like a year later. And she always says like, "Oh my
Hey,
God,
there you
Andrew,
go.
you're my miracle baby," and like I have fucking.
You're so glad that the doctor was drinking that day.
I know. Right?
What if he was like tying tubes, but they
so
were just
glad
like
that
on a
doctor was
car,
drunk
like,
that day.
He's like out back tying hoses together, like in his backyard. Oh shit! I got the wrong memo.
I know.
The upsetting thing is another lady that other lady that he actually went and did that to that day. Never had another kid.
Oh,
Anyway.
It got sad. It got
They tied the wrong tubes.
Oh my god.
That will be
Well, if that was the
pretty
case, we came out on top.
bad. Exactly.
We won this one.
See, this is a good start already. This is a good start already, for sure.
I'm liking it.
You're a miracle
agree.
guest then.
You're a miracle guest. It was so you could be here today.
Yeah, no, it's
It
I love.
was meant to be.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it. Like, I just, like, I'm trying to get into the whole. It seems that a lot of artists nowadays are doing a lot of live streams. It's kind of like, and
Yeah.
I mean, that seems to be the way to go. It's a great way to like connect with audience members, connect with other artists as well.
For sure.
And I mean, like, maybe my first live stream, I didn't even talk, but I think it's like it definitely comes with practice, right? Like, just the more you do it, the easier it gets, the more fun it is, and it's really great because like I get to meet you guys.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, and we're so comfortable.
Yeah.
No, we're not awkward at all.
No.
Never been
We're
an
not
awkward
sure.
moment.
I
Last
enjoy
live
watching
stream-
people draw. I'll scour YouTube for people drawing.
Oh, it's
I don't
incredible.
know, probably a bit more than I should. Yeah, like stuff from cons, people take videos. I'm like, I want to watch Arthur Adams draw something, and I just go to YouTube, and there it is. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's nice.
It would be great to have some artists like seriously have an overhead cam of their, their pad the whole time. I think that would be great, especially like some big name guys. They should do more of that and only like give it out to Patreon users to make it some incentive for artists to do it or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Patreon. I have to fucking start doing that real soon.
I do too as well, man. I feel your pain. I've been so slack on that front.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, cause this is the thing. One of my main sources of income right now is the plastic support program.
Oh, they cut it out.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah.
Oh, is that no longer gonna be a thing?
They are phasing it out.
I did not know that.
But,
Oh my goodness.
So they're phasing that out, but they're also keeping like the ads, though, right? Like you can get ad revenue, but no support.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
Katie.
the ad revenue. That was like one of the. Hey, this is my child. This is this weird cat-shaped thing that's living in my house.
It
So
exists. True.
Definitely a cat. That's
I think it is.
Diagnosed it.
I think it is. But yeah, like so the support program they seem to be phasing it out, like which is really disappointing because it was really cool. I mean, like technically it's a Patreon competitor, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it just seems like they didn't really have the from what I learned didn't have enough manpower to support it, and their new business plan isn't like in line with what they want to do with the support program. Because like you take Patreon, right? And Patreon has their entire team is dedicated to the Patreon platform. And then you have
only to a support program.
Yeah, exactly. In Classic, like they're doing a bunch of different things, and it seems that they only had a couple of people working on the support program, and it's not ideal. So I completely understand like what they need to do, and it seems a lot of people are disappointed, and understandably so. But I mean, what they got to do, whatever they got to do to stay alive, I guess.
Yeah.
Not to say that they're in any
Right.
danger. They're backed by like ton of really great investors. They just need to I think they're doing a really great job.
I do too. I really love their site like a lot.
It's
Like the
like
way
a
it
focus.
operates.
It's like a focus thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
like a focus thing. They want to focus on like the main. I see.
yeah, definitely. And like the shift towards mobile is actually really smart because I mean nowadays you have maybe maybe last year like the amount of mobile and tablet users versus desktop users is more like there's more mobile and tablet users now than desktop.
Yeah, that number's just.
No, I've actually started making my comic vertical for that very reason because a lot of people respond better to those where they don't have to like zoom in with their fingers,
Yeah, definitely. Like you'll notice a lot of comics on like Reddit, for example. They're very like the successful ones. They tend to be vertical, or yeah, just, like vertical does really well because you have a lot of people on their phones just looking at all the images, you know.
Yeah.
And like I know a couple people who just never go on their computer anymore. They're just on their phone all the time. Like they come home, they just lay on the couch and they just look at their phone or their tablet like for the rest of the night.
Yeah,
That's my wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to pull out her computer
Every
for
commercial
like,
break.
That's really interesting about
Every commercial break, I'm like, what can I do?
I love their site, but I really hope this doesn't like hurt them in any way, like losing the support program. Because I mean, I think one of their direct competitors is Webtoons.
Yes.
And Webtoons is like, it's cool that they pay artists so well, but their format needs to be like Tapastics, I think, for them to be able to like, to make me move over there almost, you know, 100%.
I do completely agree. Like, just from what I don't really have that much experience with Webtoons, but it just feels like, it feels kind of impersonal, I guess, because no one has user profiles, no one really has, like, you don't really know.
Yeah.
I want to, like, it just seems, from what I've learned over the last couple of months, just that people want to know more about you, and, like your comic is just kind of like, if you're doing a comic, that's fucking awesome, but people want to know more about you, and who you are, and what you do. Like, it's come to the point where, like, I feel like we as comic artists need to market ourselves more than an actual comic that we do.
Yeah.
Because, like, at the end of the day, that's what stands out the most, right? Like, we can have, like, this gag-a-day strip, you know, but everyone else and their mom has their own, right?
Yeah, that's true.
My mom's gag-a-day strip is better than mine.
Like, I don't feel good about that. That's interesting when you talk about, too, like, someone supporting you through, like, Patreon or something. They're more likely to support you if they know more about you and, like,
definitely.
am I supporting someone who's a total douchebag or someone who's a decent guy? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that.
Actually, I think you gave me that.
See, I've learned something already.
I think it was I was tweeting back and forth with Wes, you, Enzo, and I think Chris Hallbeck about this, and you guys were like, "Yeah, change your name on Twitter to your actual name from like Rain.comic to like my name to like kind of push that out a little bit more."
Yeah.
And it's been. I mean, I guess I've seen a result from it. I've definitely gotten more followers in the last little while, but.
Yeah, definitely. Like, honestly, like this, maybe 10 years ago, that would have been different. But now, just because, like, the webcomic scene is diluted as hell. Not to say that's a bad thing, because that's fucking awesome. But there's just so many people with like, marginally similar stuff that, like, just marketing yourself is only, like, it's kind of, like, a better way to do it nowadays. You know? Like, back in, like, 2001, 2002, there was, like, what, 3 webcomics in entire existence? And now there's, like, you have, like, all these big-ass web companies that are competing because there's just too many.
You're like, before Google was making freaking cars, it was a different world.
Yeah.
It was a simpler time.
It was a simpler time. Yeah.
It was the best of times. It was
back in my day.
That's a classic dad move right there, right?
Yeah, for real.
When we made comics, we had to put them up. It was uphill both ways.
Back in my day,
we
my
had table-based layouts
made
for our
MS Paint,
comics.
and I couldn't save. I had to take a picture of my screen with a fucking like disposable camera.
I emailed a copy to each fan.
Right. Right, you had mailing lists. That was actually a thing.
That reminds me, I made like comics online back when I was like 12 and drew them and like would put them online. They were terrible. They were like Barney versus the Easter Bunny kind of crap. Yeah, and I would put them on like a Quake forum. They were just.
You just learned something new about Wesley Hall tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
He bared his soul to you.
Wow.
There you go.
Getting on those Quake forums.
Yeah, which so many people went to and were so interested in my dumb drawings.
Your unique genius.
No,
and seriously, Wesley, those are the things I love most about your artwork and your stuff. It's just like all like the references to like D&D, for example, like the I just love them. Like I think actually one of my favorite comics is let's see. The one where you're like, okay, you're holding up the sword of success. The sword of success, right?
Yes.
And, like I have the
man,
power,
that
and then
one's
like
good.
the fucking, it's fucking out of battery.
It's just
That
doesn't
one's
work.
good.
Like how sad is that?
Yeah.
You're so close.
So I have it. I've lifted it. I'm ready for it.
Exactly.
You know
Oh
it
my
doesn't
God.
take regular batteries either. You know
Yeah.
you need
Oh,
to
of
go.
It's like some sort of like 9-volt piece of shit. No, you have to mix the 9-volt and those like
They're
those
like
watch
80
batteries.
watch batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like where no one sells them except this fucking obscure dollar store like halfway across the city.
That's too far away. I'm going home. Just throw it away. Just
Yeah.
make a follow-up comic. Just like throwing it away. Going home.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That was a
Yeah.
huge compliment.
Like I've always wanted to make I've always wanted to make a medieval fantasy comic. I actually have one like kind of brewing in my mind, but it's not nothing concrete. But it's one of the goals, you know.
interesting. Like something comical or like
Definitely comical. Ridiculous.
Monty
was thinking-
Python-esque.
Yeah, I guess like the words I've always been looking for is something like Futurama, but set instead of like in a future setting in a fucking medieval fantasy.
Subscribed. I'm in. Where is it?
Yeah, that sounds incredible. I would read the shit out of that.
Read it multiple times.
What is the one that Scott Kurtz does one that's kind of along the lines of a role-playing game? It's like tabletop something.
Table type.
Well, yeah.
Titans,
Yeah.
that something like that. It's like really funny, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
There was one where like one dude gets swallowed by the gelatinous cube
Uh-huh.
and pretty much just like rolls with it and keeps playing like as the gelatinous cube from then on, or this dissolved skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. It's a good strip. I haven't read it in a while, but I
Yeah.
remember like combing through it religiously.
Yeah, no, it's definitely great. I actually had I was working on a comic that was kind of like Table Titans. It was like I was thinking of a medieval fantasy comic. Like, what should I do? It would be really cool if I had this character who was like working his day job and he got really sick of it, so he would start imagining this fantasy stuff like intruding on his life. And when Table Titans came out, I was like, oh crap, it's like I can't do it now because the whole D&D thing, you know, like it's all in their imagination. Like all the adventures in the Table Titans, like it's just their campaign, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not like they're there. It's very like, hey, this is what we're imagining our
Yeah, which is really fucking cool, and I love it. Absolutely. But that seems to be like really common amongst those like one of the, like those big webcomic artists, right? Like Scott Kurtz started off with a gag a day, now he's doing this medieval fantasy, right? And then the other least I could do, Ryan Sommer, he did start off with a gag a day, now he's doing LFG. You know, it seems like a natural progression.
Yeah, to get like deeper into
they have this wildly successful comic, and now let's do like a passion project afterward.
I think
it's like
yeah. That's kind of a goal actually. I think I've got one in mind, but I just like I can't swing two right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have to keep doing what I'm doing. But in order to start like another one, I would really need to keep it like once a week, and it would have to tone down what I have now, which is already kind of toned down.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the chat if you guys want to draw some suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw something at me.
Let's see, we have your final forms. So like from Dragon Ball Z, right guys? I feel like that one could be cool.
Oh, is that a Dragon Ball Z thing? Okay.
I'm
pretty ignorant on my Dragon Ball Z. They turn into monkeys or something.
They go Saiyan. Like I was kind of a fan. Like I watched it with my brother. No, I watched through the Cell Game saga, and then I just kind of lost track because I went to college.
That'll do it.
There you go. Let's see. So we have that. So we could draw all of our final forms there. Which I think was just me being asleep.
I have reached the singularity.
Yes. Comfortable.
Finally, I sleep.
And then we have an adult dragon teaching his children to fire breathe, but instead of small children, dragon just barf out a bunch of small YouTube logos.
YouTube logo.
It's extremely specific. That
It's very specific.
cracks me up.
I like it. So we should choose from one of those two. I'm going to go my final form, I think.
I kind of dig that one.
Final form sounds pretty funny. Oh man, so that's Dragon Ball Z. Because I know there's this Super Saiyan thing, right?
There's a Super Saiyan. I think it comes from, no, I can't remember this character's name.
Does Google tell me?
Yeah.
Go
It
ahead.
was the white guy.
The final form tells me that there's a thing with a tail.
Yes. There's also apparently a few inappropriate pictures, which is pretty...
Some Dragon Ball Z prawn
Yeah.
mixed in.
You know, of course, why wouldn't there be?
It wouldn't be the internet.
What would be my final form?
Frieza's final form.
Do I just like take a picture of myself and add blonde hair?
There you go.
This goes purely saying.
Just go straight.
I go from Asian to Caucasian. What's going on?
You would go Canadian.
I may make.
Canadian to American. So you'd grow a mustache,
You
eat fried foods, and own a weapon. Something like that.
You'd flannel, lots of flannel.
Flannel and a gun that shoots cheeseburgers. I don't know, something like that.
That would be the shit.
I would be Canadian if that was the deal.
Steven's sitting there scratching his chin like, I'd like a gun that shoots burgers. Yeah.
Cheeseburger
Great.
That's awesome.
This is great.
This is the perfect weapon.
Okay, so they have like really big foreheads and their hair turns blonde. Got it.
I mean, okay.
That would be me. I would grow hair again. I would have hair again.
The days of hair.
I really have no
Yeah.
idea.
Amazing flowing locks.
Golden. Glinting in
yeah.
the sun.
Like the episode of Adventure Time when Finn takes off his hat. He has like
Yes,
amazing
yeah.
glowing gold hair. Yeah, that would be me. Okay, this is happening.
There you go. I want to see you with golden hair and a pipe.
I feel like my final form would be a fourth kid or something weird. Not weird, but just like completely stressed out at the hell and back.
You crying alone with your cheeseburger gun.
I might do that. I think I might do that.
Stephen will ask me like, "Is 3 like that much worse than 2?" And I just kind of like dodge the question.
Like the audio purposely cuts out.
I'm like, it dropped.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Just go listen to some Jim Gaffigan stand up, and it's good therapy for it.
Yeah, if that guy can survive 5 in New York City in like a 2-bedroom apartment, like,
Yeah, you'll be fine.
you'll be fine.
We'll see.
I mean, I guess he is on the road all the time, so.
He's like, "See you later, guys. Good luck."
Oh, it's super easy, guys. I'm just gonna go make some jokes about it.
Could you do something annoying today, please? So I could. Awesome.
Anytime I have a bad time, like figuring out what to write as a comic, I think I blame my child. You know, like you're supposed to be fodder for this.
Can you just do something cute? Come on.
It's hilarious. Cute anything. Come on.
Hey, wake up!
Go to fuck to sleep.
That's no joke, man. Seriously, when they're just like freaking out, sometimes you're like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna be up here forever." Like you never say it, but you think it. Right, guys?
It's true.
No, I'm not a terrible parent.
You know, the thing that will get me sometimes, some of the ridiculous junk my son will do to not eat. I'm like, you have to eat to like live.
Yeah.
You have to do this.
No question.
I was just having those
Enzo, Enzo, what's your writing process like, or your comic process?
My comic
Oh yes,
process.
I wanted to hear about this. Your routine, your
You have
process,
you have an incredible amount of work, and I am like
and it's all
jealous.
funny, which is
No,
weird.
it's good. But yeah, it's incredibly funny. That's like really hard.
I'm like, can't
So
there be something
writing's
like
always
not
like
funny?
chunk.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm slightly ashamed now. I'm gonna like go off screen. My writing process is the night before a comic is due. I go on Reddit for 8 hours, and
So
then
even though someone has the
at
same
11:50, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Okay, and
And
despair.
then, no, like, but completely seriously though, like, I don't have a writing process. I just a lot of my I guess a lot of my jokes are from observations. Just from like, oh, this would be funny if I exaggerated it like a million times over. Like, I guess maybe this is more This is more pertaining to a lot of my recent comics, but they're just like, oh, something funny happened in real life. It'll be funnier in a comic, but I have to exaggerate it way a lot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, those things are supposed to be exaggerated.
yeah, yeah.
noted.
That's the thing,
Because
because like,
the
I
band
guess.
thing, I don't know if that's a Nashville thing. That comic about the band, I was just like, I know that guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I am that guy.
You can literally trip over guitar players in the street here, literally.
Everybody's trying to make
It's,
it
yeah,
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird.
everyone who's your waiter, you're just like, so what's your band? When are they playing tonight?
So you just kind of lock something away? Do you like write it down?
I definitely write it down. Yeah, like I have lost many a good idea just because like I'll remember it when I get home, and I get home it's like, no, it's gone. Like
It
it's
will
terrible.
happen.
Like yeah, like I'm sure you guys can all relate to that. It's just like
Yes.
you have this great idea, and like this will be amazing. It's like on the dot, on spot on. The timing is perfect, and no, don't remember it. Yeah, I've learned a lesson several times, and it's very depressing.
Hmm. And
But
then you just end up on Reddit for 16 hours, bearing.
yeah. But yeah, no, that is definitely just my writing process. A lot of observational humor, I guess.
Yeah, you're
Um,
just kind of on the lookout for stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
constantly. Like people have asked me that before. They're just like, do you just like just watch for everything? Every like minute of every conversation, I'm thinking of like, how can I make this into a joke?
Yeah,
Oh man,
I
I
do
hope we
that.
can make it into the comic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like it's actually gotten me into trouble like in high school because like people never taking me seriously. I'd be like, guys, I'm depressed. Like my life is over. Like, you're so funny. I don't people do that into the comic. I'm like, the guys, like, I'm like literally like dying. It's like, no, you're so funny.
Does that
No.
now is that where the title comes from? This is
Um,
something I've learned.
No, yeah,
yeah.
that's a good.
Are
There
you
you
the
go. Good
emo
follow-up
kid?
question.
Is someone else the emo kid?
Emo's still around.
Pardon?
Emo's still around, right? I always
No.
wondered about this. Like,
I mean,
I'm a dad, so I'm out of touch.
As far as I know,
Oh, I
it's
just
completely
watched.
gone. Like the emo scene's evolved into the hipster scene. I don't even know. Like, I was like the title is actually just from because I started the comic after a really bad relationship.
Okay.
And the title was just like, hey, like, stop being a fucking baby about it. Just go make yourself feel better about it. And that was the purpose of the first 100 or so comic strips. And after that, it's just like, oh, okay, like I'm just gonna continue it just because like people seem to like it. Um, but
like everyone's
yeah,
depressed conveniently, so
exactly.
I haven't known
Everyone
it.
had a bad breakup.
Uh, exactly. But
That's
yeah,
amazing. That's
Yeah, it's really
amazing.
good.
It was to cheer you up, to laugh at stuff. It's so
exactly.
cool.
It was
Yeah,
like
that's right.
one of the actually I actually ended up quitting maybe after my whole after a comic 100 150 or something like that because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do with the comic. It was like it was gaining traction, but I was still like just kind of like BSing it the entire time. It was only like what was it 2010 2011 when I actually started realize oh I could probably make this into a career and that's when I like restarted and started doing it seriously, like actually looking at it like, oh, I should make money. I should try to compose myself professionally, quote unquote. Because a lot of my earlier comics were like really mean. Like they're kind of just like ragging on this on people and this girl specifically, and it wasn't good. Like people always ask me like, why haven't you made a book? It's like because I hate numbers 1 to 150. I cannot look at them. And
Yeah.
people tend to like them a lot. I'm like, that's awesome, but I can't look at them anymore, and it's caused me so much issues in the past. But I mean, no, it's a great learning experience. Like I look back at it now, I'm like, this is awesome. It was really fun.
When did you first start it? Exactly.
The Emo Kid comic,
Mm-hmm.
2008,
Wow.
2008. Yeah, but
Alright,
I've
so
actually, yeah.
have you crossed the 1,000 mark yet?
No, I have not.
How close are you?
Well, Emu Kid has about 400. Let me actually gotta check that. Maybe 470 comics.
Okay.
But I actually started making comics in high school, and I have about 200 of them.
Oh, for some reason I thought I saw like one of your images and it was like number 9, like 28. I was like, wow, oh my god.
Oh, that probably wasn't me. Definitely.
Okay.
I'm only on like 400. But if you count them all like in total, like maybe about 600.
Wow.
I think what happened was I looked at the URL and I saw those 3 numbers and was like, shit, he's killing it.
Just think,
Yeah.
one day there will be 1,000 Drawing with Dads episodes,
Oh my god.
right?
Yeah.
Guys, maybe.
This will be the
That's
best. Of
you know that means like 500 months, right? If you do the math. Like since we only meet like twice a month.
500 months. How
Well, how-
old will I be? I don't
How
wanna think
long do
about that.
humans live?
Exactly.
Hold on, I'm pulling up the math. That's
Yeah.
41.
Steven's the guy that's going to have a freaking PhD in computer science. We'll let him figure it out.
Alright,
Yeah, seriously.
nice.
We'll let him
That's really
figure
a
it out.
strategy for almost everything.
He's the smart guy.
I'm
We're in
feeling,
trouble.
I'm feeling a little inadequate because I'm Asian, but I'm supposed to know math, but no, like I need to calculate it.
I get that, man. It's just like, you know,
There's all this
computers are so
expectation.
incredible now. Like, why sit there and like do the differential equation? Just like get a computer.
That's the spirit.
It's the spirit.
It's the new millennium. For the love of
It's
God, you know, like,
2015.
Let our robot overlords do this. Gosh.
Stop doing the hard stuff.
Elon Musk is worried we'll be ruled by robots or something. Just let him do our math.
Okay, really. That's how it starts, isn't it?
Yeah. At first you have a calculator on your grocery cart, and then later...
First they came for the math.
they stuck around and took over.
And then they fell in love. And there you go. I don't know what they fall in love with, but something.
Yeah, but yeah, like I'm interested to know, like, how did you guys get started in the whole comic business? Wesley?
Wes, you want to go through?
Oh, we're going to put Wesley on the spot first.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go through.
I'll go first. I don't have a comic. Wesley, how would you like to...
Oh no.
Are you still
What
there?
happened? Yeah, I think I cut out for a second.
Okay, I was
Oh,
like,
you blinked
wow,
out.
that was like crazy.
He's that guy's...
I think he's just like clammed up with fear.
I did both. My computer clammed up with fear for me. I think it's the thing. What is it protecting? Sorry,
It's protecting you. See? It is sentient. It's protecting you.
How'd you get started into webcomics?
Nameless PC, man. The origin.
Origin. So, let's see.
You made
always
cool
been a big
comics when
fan.
you were 12 and put them on
Yeah,
forums.
I made terrible comics when I was 12. There was even a voting process. So look at that. You know,
Uh-huh.
you would vote like, because it was Barney versus, was it Santa Claus? Yeah, it was Santa Claus. No, versus the Teletubbies. That was the first one. And then it was Santa Claus versus the Easter Bunny, and people could vote on who would win. This was back when I was in like high school. These were
Nice.
terrible comics.
Yeah.
I remember I wrote them all on like, I drew them all on like my mom's. Like, she worked at a hospital, so like the
Uh-huh.
hospital gave me like just these sheets of paper, and they would all say like Baptist Hospital at the top.
Oh, nice.
So somewhere there's just a bunch of these like terribly drawn comics with,
Uh-huh.
you
Nice.
know, Hopefully
My
they're all
dad
thrown
used to save
away.
old dot matrix, like the ones that were all like.
Oh my god,
together. He
yeah.
used to save those for me. Like instead of them throwing it out, he'd bring it home and let me draw on the back. Totally.
That's very kind of them. Look
Was
at
it had
that.
those like margins you could peel off or whatever?
Yes.
Oh yeah, totally, man. The dotted margins you can pull off all the way. So that's where you began,
So-
Wesley. And
so
then you went to college and met me.
Yeah, I met Nick,
Excuse me.
and pretty much he's inspired my whole life.
Yeah.
Nice.
I take credit for everything good.
Everything good I've ever done has been because of Nick. No, let's see. There was a site called it's Weexigo. I think it's like Gaelish for We Play, and it used to be a gaming site. And the guy was like, "Hey, I like your stuff. You should do a comic for me." And so I got my friend Matt Roberts, and me. We made a comic, and that was when Nameless PC was born. So that was like
Nice.
September 2010, I think. And that was like once every 2 weeks or once in a while.
Mhm.
And then early 2013, Matt, the guy who was doing the writing, kind of quit. Just wanted to do other stuff, and so I was like on my own, and so I started drawing. And I remember it was like January. I like borked the site. I put in some bad code on the WordPress theme, and it crashed it.
Oh, yeah.
So I set up a Tumblr, and then I was just like, well, I had just come to the end of a story arc, and I was like, let me draw these self comics just for now, so I can figure out if I want to continue writing the characters and stuff. And then I drew a little gray nose version of myself, and I don't think I've ever stopped. So,
Nice. That's
and
awesome.
so yeah, put the site back up, put it on my own server and everything, and just kind
Yeah.
of this is the comic now. Enjoy it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Beautiful. See, because I was vaguely aware. I knew that you were doing a comic for like a gaming site, but then I feel like I
Yeah.
checked in on it again one day, and I'm like, holy crap, this is like really cool. And it was like at the point that it was the autobiographical, and you had like the cool art style with the nose and stuff.
Yeah.
And it just seems like it's picked up steam ever since to me. So
That
Oh,
nose-
yes. Wesley, please explain the nose. I mean, I love it. But what is... I want to know the story behind the nose.
I know I feel bad because I feel like there should be a good story, but it's
It's
really
nothing.
it's like most people when they draw a nose, it's like a line.
Uh-huh.
And there's not much there visually. I
Yeah.
was watching Penny Arcade and Table Titans, or PvP at the time. They were all doing kind of these throwback big orange round Mr. Magoo noses and stuff like that. And I read Deep Dark Fears. He does a red kind of squarish nose. And so I think it just started. If you look at the first one, it's just kind of like an angular nose to be something a little more interesting.
Uh-huh.
And then at some point I colored it in, and then it just kind of kept being this weird gray thing.
it
Nice.
became its own character.
Yeah, it really does have a life of its own.
It was just kind of a process of doodling. Then
Yeah,
you just kind of played with it.
I
That's
would
cool.
say I knows what I was doing from the
Oh
beginning.
god.
Oh no.
I was like, oh god.
Oh
I got
my
a
god.
general. I got a groan from
How I
Steve.
feel about
was
that.
the best. It's terrible.
Almost forgot what the title of this stream was. Is Drawing with Dads.
There you go.
Don't forget. We'll remind you occasionally.
Yes.
Why did the Buddhist monk refuse Novocaine? He wanted to transcend dental medication.
Oh my. Oh my
I would
god.
actually.
No?
Do you,
I've only got one dad. I've actually only got one dad joke. I already
Um,
told it a week or two ago.
Let's hear it.
Am I
I
doing
can't
so?
already.
This is a thing.
It's the how do you make a tissue dance?
Oh yeah.
You know,
that's
you
a
put
good
a
one.
little boogie in it.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
There.
Uh,
That's it. That's all I got. I could go online, I guess, and find some more, but people kind of leave you alone when you tell a joke like that in real life.
but this fucking guy.
Oh wait, I came up with some good Halloween dad jokes. So you can
Oh,
ready
man.
for them. This one came up by somebody else, but I take credit for it. What do you
Oh,
call
please do.
What do you call a ghost that solves murders?
Oh, I have to know.
Columbu.
Oh god.
Oh.
And then the other one is what does a ghost say when he sneezes? It's pretty much the same joke.
Abu.
Abu, yes, exactly.
You
You know
sounded
what
like
that reminds me of?
you sounded
There wasn't-
disappointed when you answered that.
No, good.
Please tell me it's anything but this.
Wah, wah. No, it
Um,
reminds me of what was that? The movie Aladdin. Wasn't that the name of the monkey?
Abu.
Abu, yes.
Yes.
Oh my
Abu.
gosh.
Yeah,
You're digging deep, man.
Yeah.
I am digging deep.
I was thinking of
Over and
Apu
beyond.
from The Simpsons.
Well, there you go. Abu's a good reference.
Jack Ricks Loken's asking if any of the dads or Enzo ever done anything with animation.
I have not. Wes, you have, right?
I did some really small stuff. Let me see if I can find it. I did like a birth announcement when
Yeah, you do a lot of those
pregnancy
animated
announcements.
GIFs. I like them.
Oh my gosh,
So-
I remember the birth announcement. That was cool.
So yeah, I've done animated GIFs.
The one of
And,
Riker with the trombone made me very
That
happy.
was
That
incredible.
was a
Made
good
me
one.
very
That
happy.
was amazing.
The one running in the shower too, or like outside of the
Yeah.
bathroom. I think that was the first one I ever saw that you did.
I think that was the first one I did, and I think it's the first one to maybe give someone a seizure. It played really bad on what is it, that thing, on Twitter. I like posted it there when they first started doing GIFs, and like it sped it up some, and
Oh
it
my
was just
gosh.
like seizure inducing almost. Yeah, but I've done some GIFs,
Wow.
and then I did. Someone even commented, they were like, "You're gonna give me seizures." I'm like, "I'm really sorry,
Wow.
it's really bad."
Well, so would every ad, like on terrible sites that they go to. So I'm sure
Oh
that
my
you're
gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the only like real animation I've done, and then I've also done. So I did for the birth announcements, and then I've done the animated GIFs, which I just do in Photoshop, which are always fun. Beefpaper.com, if you read that, he's
Oh,
the
yeah.
king.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah, his
king
stuff,
of those
yeah.
animated GIFs. Man,
Yeah.
he's,
I
I
love
don't know how
those.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not a show on Cartoon like Network.
Mhm.
In a few years, that's where it's going. I'm sure.
Have you guys heard of Thunderpaw?
No, I haven't.
Thunderpaw.co. So it's a webcomic as well, but almost every frame is animated.
Oh, interesting.
Very, very cool.
Nice.
I talked about it in one of my articles too. It's like kind of like pushing the boundaries because we're on the web. We should be doing web things. That's just my philosophy.
Yeah.
We should take advantage of the medium that we are in.
I've seen that. Well, like I've seen the animated ones, and I've seen the people like where you actually have to do something to see the next panel.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not often, like there's not a whole lot of them, but when I do see them, they always catch my eye and they're really interesting.
Yeah. Like that. I think those are kind of like flash comics, aren't they? Those ones where like you kind of have to click to the next panel, which I'm not really a fan of, just because just clicking. Like we were at the agency, they're always just like, we want less clicks as possible, or whatever.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Everybody's like, you lose half the people when you click or whatever. At least
Scrolling is fine. You can do everything with scrolling. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen people doing stuff with like parallax before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like as you
wow.
scroll or things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. But
The
that's just effort.
Yeah.
The animated ones I'm always fascinated by are I'm always fascinated by the animated ones because it's such an incredible amount of work for such like a consumable piece of media.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'll put like 8 hours into a comic sometimes and people burn through it. Like my wife will read it in less than 10 seconds, and I don't have a problem with that. But if I'm animating it and I just put like 30 to 40 hours into a comic, that's like it's a whole other level of dedication.
Yeah. Like I do love making animated comics, but it is very time consuming. That's the only issue I have with them.
Yeah, you have to really find a reason
Mhm.
like to make the animation. It really
Yeah,
has a back to it.
Like, if I have a joke that only works if something is moving, like
Yeah.
then yeah, okay, I understand. But it is time consuming.
I just did one this week that was like just because it was even simple animation. It was just like in the first frame, it was like talking about being in public and how you want to disappear. So like I
Oh
would
yeah.
fade out, and then versus like in the last frame, like the
Uh-huh.
background faded out. So I mean
Yeah.
that
That
was
was
like the simple animation, but I think it really added to the point of the comic.
It
Yeah.
really did. I love that one, and it kind of did well, if I remember correctly. Like,
Yeah,
didn't
it
you kind of
really-
get some like good attention off that?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I go on Reddit, I think I get like 60 upvotes. It's usually the level I'm at like cops.
That's like just on the cusp of getting like hate/love. You know, and, like if you get over 20, that's when some people start to comment, and then there's always one jack off who's trying to say something negative just to say something negative.
Yeah.
Hear my daughter crying.
Oh, I hear a baby.
Oh no.
Baby.
Babies.
Really go check on her.
You're having too
You're
much
talking
fun,
amongst
Wesley.
yourself.
You're having too much fun.
I
Coffee
know.
talk.
I'll give you a topic. I don't actually have a topic.
You don't have a topic, do you?
No, I wish I had one though, because I used to love their dumb little topics.
The New Deal was neither new nor deal. Discuss.
Yeah. So Enzo, is this like are you full-time comics?
Yes, I am full-time comics.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about beforehand. Because I was talking about is it Make Webcomics? I'm going to switch it again. The Making Webcomics site and how he had a former life as a web developer. Since I'm a web developer,
Mhm.
So what was that? What was that transition like? Was it a slow thing? Did you like concoct a master plan?
It was pretty slow. Like I was working at an agency for about 3 years, and the entire time I was like saving up money because I was like, okay, what do I want? What do I need to make webcomics? I need a tablet. I need a printer. I need all the like. I just started saving up money to buy all this stuff. It took me like 2 or 3 years to get this fucking Cintiq,
Right.
but I got it.
Very,
and I'm like,
I'm very jealous.
yeah, like oh my god,
Seriously.
You and your hard work. How dare you?
like oh, it's like I will never. This is the thing I will have for the rest of my life. You know? Like,
Right.
like I was like, at first I was like, oh my god, this is fucking expensive. I'm never gonna be. I don't know how to justify that purchase, right?
I know you feel like you don't deserve it, right?
Exactly. But then I went.
Seriously.
Like the entire process took me like a month just to decide. Because kept going back into the store and trying it out. And like they were then leaving, they'd come back. I'd come back next week. They're just like, oh yeah, like they'd actually have it set up already, just because like they already knew I was coming, just to like look at it.
They
And
figured
I
it's
was-
your like favorite
yeah.
snacks.
Oh yeah, I honestly fucking loved it. I love it because just it improved. One of the things I love about the Cintiq is it improved my work, the speed of my workflow. Like as much as I love the Wacom like the tablets, just the Intuos, I used that for like 7, 8 years, and I loved it. But like just the Cintiq, like it just being able to see exactly what you're drawing really helps you.
Oh my
And
god, I'm
it
just
doesn't-
so
it-
jealous.
Yeah, it doesn't just improve like your workflow. It improves your workflow. It improves like your speed. It improves just like your overall look. Honestly.
Dude, when Wacom came out with the what was it, the hybrid?
Yeah.
It was kind of the companion thing. I was so excited, and I remember actually got on the phone with like a Wacom like representative, just like people who do sales and all that stuff. And then I was like, "Hey, this is Wacom, right?" She's like, "No, it's Wacom." And I was like,
Oh
"Okay."
my god.
And then I was like, "Well, anyway, so how much is your hybrid?" And it was like $5,000 at the time. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't 5. It was somewhere along the lines of like 3 or 4. And I was like, I laughed in her face. I was like, "You gotta be shitting me! I can't afford that."
Yeah.
I really thought it was gonna be like affordable for artists.
No, it should be less than 2. That's they must have fucking marked it up ridiculously because that's not. No. It sounds really wrong.
I honestly stopped looking at it. It's like 'cause I
Yeah.
was just so pissed. But then I don't even know what it costs now. I think there's like a companion and
Yeah.
other types of
Yeah.
options.
It's the companion, the regular one, which is just a tablet, or it's just a drawing tablet, and then there's the one. Oh wait, no, the one normal one is a companion. It is an Android tablet, and then when you connect it to your computer, it becomes a Cintiq. It becomes a second monitor that you can draw on.
Okay.
And then the hybrid is the one that is I believe it's a Windows. It's an actual PC. Like you don't need to connect it to anything. You just have like a Windows PC on your lap.
I
Yeah.
see. And you have the way the
Channel.
pen and the pressure and the
Yes, you have everything, but you don't need to connect it to a computer.
Excellent.
You have
So-
everything you need.
What we're talking about, Wes, since you stepped out for a second, we're asking Enzo how he wound up going full time.
Oh yeah.
His path to full time, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got envious of his cool tools. So.
All I heard was buy a Cintiq, so that seems.
Which he worked butt off for, so we shouldn't be that jealous, but we
Yeah.
are anyway.
I would
I was about to say,
I honestly would recommend it like completely, just because like it's so good. It's so nice.
That's kind of what I've wondered, man, is like, does it give me that much more control that I need to do this?
Mhm.
And I keep thinking the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it is.
Well, like,
Okay.
yeah, honestly, because like it actually took me a while to learn how to use it correctly, like the way that I wanted it to. Because like there were definitely times like the first month where I'm like, why do I need this? I have this perfectly fine Intuos, just like sitting there, and I don't know how to do it correctly. Like everything I'm drawing is ugly, but it's like definitely something you can get used to, and then you'll figure it out. And then yeah, I definitely would recommend it.
oh man, what are they like? If you don't mind me asking, what do they kind of run for now?
The 21, I believe, the one that I got was the 21, and it is more than 2K. It's like 2,200 in Canada. Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up. There's a really okay. The biggest one is 24. That's like that's a really expensive one.
Okay.
The 24 is hold on, sorry. 24
24
is
too.
it's like almost 3,000. This is
Okay.
Canadian though, so like 3,000 Canadian dollars is like 100 US.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You should be the other way around.
So it sounds like it's free, is what it's.
They let this in, they all have healthcare. How did this happen?
The,
Oh my gosh, I
24
just looked at your drawing.
the 24 seems to
I just
be-
looked at your drawing, Enzo. This is amazing.
Hold on, let me switch over.
It's
Dude,
really
it's like an Uncle Fester gun shooting cheeseburgers.
Look at the sash.
The cargo shorts. Oh, dear God, he has cargo shorts. Okay, sorry. That just hit me the right way.
Sorry guys, I'll be right back. I gotta use the restroom.
I was like, I heard a kid, and I was like, wow, he does have a kid. He lied to us.
his cat's just making.
We're making him laugh so hard. We're so hilarious.
Wes, is that you?
Oh gosh, Stephen, that's funny. You're just clutching children. Why?
So many kids.
Yours is beautiful. Like, just. I think I got my next tattoo. I'm just putting that right on my back.
I decided, like, yeah, along with the Super Saiyan hair, there should be a Super Saiyan beard
I
Yeah.
can't point
So-
it up for some reason.
and giant beefy arms.
I can't like directly click on yours. I have no idea why.
Beefy. I never did the Dragon Ball Z. I never saw the Dragon Ball Z. I sound really old now, don't I? The Dragon Ball Z.
the YouTubies and MySpaces.
Did they speak English on that show? I don't think they do.
They speak American.
The cool like show is cool, but the one thing is like seriously, one battle will last 8 episodes, and it's like 20 minutes of charging and then commercial after commercial.
Right, right. See, I've seen a few because I have friends that are into it, and I saw some of the Cell one, the one you mentioned. Just like if you just fight, just fight, just do this.
Can you get to the fighting part already?
One of them is one of the characters is named Mr. Satan, I think it's like a Lost in Translation type thing. He's just like this hairy, like
very
weird pedophile looking dude.
It's actually like supposed to be like satin or something.
No, I don't even know. Like I haven't really researched this, but it's seriously like he's got like a mustache and the worst like hair imaginable.
Oh my gosh. And a van. A creepy van.
Yes.
I think all Ninja Warrior shows should have one character with a creepy van. I think it's smart marketing, really.
Ninja Warrior.
I don't know if that's the classification of
Someone finally won Ninja Warrior. American Ninja Warrior.
yeah.
It
Oh,
happened.
really?
He was like a waiter or something.
Yeah, and a rock climber.
Of course. Why wouldn't
There
he?
you go.
Wait, was it like? So I'm actually like I don't know. Was it? Had nobody ever beaten it from the American
No one had
version?
beaten the American version before. I think like
Okay.
3 people have done the Japanese, something like that. Last I checked, and,
Yeah.
and trust me, I'm checking it every day. That and the stocks.
Every morning.
How's my stocks doing? How's my Ninja Warrior betting doing? Very important.
Where's my fantasy draft Ninja Warrior team?
Right.
Oh, this is really. So I got a really dark story about. It's not terribly dark, but do you remember? I had
dear.
a buddy.
It went from really dark to not too dark. I'm
It's kind of
terrified.
it's a medium dark.
I don't want to like. Yeah, you'll kind of see why. I had an old roommate who gambled like all the time, and on the dumbest shit. Like he would go online and basically like you can gamble on anything, like the outcome of high school games or like. Who's gonna talk first at a presidential conference or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
He had entered a bet to see who would die first, whether it was John Paul, like Pope John Paul II, or Terry Schiavo.
Oh my god!
And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, and he was telling me this, and he's like, I got my money on Terry. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, you've lost your, it was just one of those moments where you're like, I can't believe I'm like living with this guy as a roommate.
This is the world I live in. Yes, this guy sleeps down the hallway from me.
So a little dark, not terribly, but
We pee into the same toilet. I don't know how I feel about this. Oh boy.
roommates sharing toilet pee. That sounds terrible.
Don't cross the streams. Right?
Don't.
Oh jeez. What's going on?
The dude's like a director now. I don't know. Like I know he's like out west trying to become a director. Like he wants to be
Like a
Scorsese.
director of what?
Terrible like indie films. Like they're really bad. He never finds enough funding.
I'm in. Where
Oh,
can I
man.
put my money?
Where's the Kickstarter?
Where's
Let's
the
do this.
Indiegogo? I'm in.
So
Super
we can take bets on stuff now. Let's do that.
Done. Me and my wife do that. We bet when our baby was first gonna walk. We just do like we each pick a day and then we have like quote unquote like $50 on it that you can spend or something. It's like a dumb way to entertain ourselves. I won that, just by the by.
Nice.
That'd be messed up if like one of you was like had a certain day in mind and you're like holding her back from walking, so you can like kind of win the ball.
Well, I think I told her that it was like I would like jokingly say that to my child was like, all right, well, don't walk today, but if you could maybe in like a week, that would be perfect.
Why is
I'm a
the
Daddy
floor
needs
like,
a new
come
pair
here,
of
honey.
shoes.
Come here. You're like, calm down. Don't push her.
You want to eat today,
On the
right?
day of, that was what I was doing on the day of, was like, and then I would sit her, and then I would stand away from her and be like, come on, you have to walk.
You're like holding out crackers to bribe her. Come over here.
Come over here. She did take 2 steps to me. Yeah, so that was nice. I didn't bribe her or anything. So it was nice. It was like, those are official steps.
You do love me. I am your favorite.
You're your favorite. I win. And then I rubbed in my wife's face. And now I never talk to her for some reason. I don't know what the deal is. But...
You should be like, haha, you can have the next one.
Naturally. Nice. Oh man. And my littlest one, she's gone. She's walking all over the place and attacking her brothers. It's pretty funny.
It sounds a lot like my sister.
Oh man, she'll sneak up behind him and just like start slapping him on the back and just smiling so sweet.
Yep.
And they just laugh it off because they're all so much bigger than her. But she kind of annoys my middle kid. She kind of gets on his nerves. So he'll like run away and be like, "Leave me alone."
You just tell him like this is the rest of your life. Just get.
I say stop. I'm like, stop being a wimp, man. Get over it.
She's a girl.
She's a girl, dude. I'm like, she's a year old. You're fine.
Man up, nerd.
I have three siblings, and my sister is the most like fierce out of all of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a feeling that my daughter's gonna. She's sweet, but I have a feeling she's gonna be one that you don't mess with. I do. It's kind of early, but I have a feeling.
Yeah, I kind of think like that's where my daughter's headed. This small package of just like destruction.
Yes.
She's gonna be one of those little girls that just like she like, is this the kid who beat you up? Yeah. I'll have to like yell at her in the room, and then we get in the car, and I'm like, "You get ice cream today. Good job."
Like, well done.
You tell them.
I'm gonna have to get more beverage in a moment.
Yeah, what are you guys drinking?
I need to look at everybody's stuff. I have a Guinness. Guinness.
Oh.
They're all a Guinness.
Nice.
Oh, Wesley, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, nice. Mom. Tattoo.
Love it. Yeah.
Dude, I think a guy that looks like that lives down the street from me, Enzo. He probably has a gun like that, too. He's bald up top. That's what you don't see that hat's covering.
Yep,
Total skullet. It's a total skullet.
Yeah, it's Skullet.
It's a total skullet, man. Oh, Steven,
That's
the kid
awesome.
peeking over the screen. That's good.
Yeah. That's fucking
Man,
hilarious.
Are you going to do
no.
4, Steven? You need 3 first to know.
No, it's not happening. I'm taking care of it.
Whoa.
With a gun, me and my wife talked about it. We're like, no, we're not having 4. She was like, I agree.
Dude,
I
I
told
want you to have your own reality show.
Yeah, we're trying to be the Duggars.
I do.
Octodad.
Octodad. You can have it to your
Octodad.
kids.
There you go. I like where this is going.
You're like drawing the webcomic.
I was trying to write one with my wife, like a comic. I was talking about like how funny it would be if I don't know, like we were in front of her parents one time, and I was just like, let's have another kid for the government checks, And then like her parents heard it. They were like, you better not, like, are you guys jerks? And she like kind of looked at me funny. So I was like, okay, that'd be a good comic. We'll see how it plays out.
Right.
Nice.
Now, you don't have kids for the money, that's for sure. The opposite.
Man, like the best thing happened to me the other week. My dad came over to watch our kid because we were going to a wedding, and he was like, "Hey, I got some comic ideas," which usually is like a terrible thing, but it's like cool when your dad is doing it.
Oh, nice. Did he come up with anything good?
They're all right.
I've yet to draw any of them. Hopefully he's not listening to this.
Yeah,
But,
no, it's too late for him. He's not awake right now.
guys, I keep thinking of Star Trek comics that I need to draw.
There you go.
We need to do a Star Trek zine.
Because I want the Set Phasers to Pun zine to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Where we could
I
have
really want
lovely
that to go
people
down.
such as Enzo here join us. And some of our other guests and draw a Star Trek comic, and we can compile them all together.
Yes. It's actually been too long since. It's been how long has this stream been going on? It has been going on for. I can't tell. How do I tell?
It's
That's
11:09.
1 hour.
About an hour, yeah.
we haven't
And
made a Star Trek joke.
We haven't
Oh,
made
and
a
we're
Star
just
Trek
now
joke.
talking about Star Trek. That's right.
Oh.
I don't mean to disappoint.
I'm slightly disappointed.
We're all like getting practical advice from you instead of
I
talking about
know.
Star Trek. Gosh.
Yeah.
We're all
There we
learning
do
over
that.
here. This is just a seminar for us. Keep
But I
talking.
thought of like a bunch of Q ones, and I thought of a bunch of con ones, and it needs to happen. So
Oh, so the guy who plays Q, I ended up like
John
um,
Delancey.
yeah, there you go. Well,
oh,
like
you
me and
threw
my
out
wife
the
were just
name.
nice.
Yes.
There was no
Yes.
hesitation there.
Dude, apparently he's on like My Little Pony. He's like a big guy. So not only is he hitting like Star
Yes.
Trek puns, but he's also like kind of hitting the brony cons.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was in one of the Brony documentaries. I
What?
watched more than one.
That's how I found out because I watched it on Netflix. It was like about bronies, and I was like, "What the hell's
Oh my
cute?" Oh my god, he's in the show.
Gosh, you guys.
He's the best. He's the best because he's like, I'm getting all this fan mail for something. Do you know who this character is? And he has to like ask his wife, and she's like, I think that's like the My Little Ponies thing you did like a month ago. He's like, oh yeah.
Oh.
They're like so connected to it. He's like, oh yeah, that thing. Oh whatever. But he embraces it, man. He goes in. He's just like, whatever. Fandoms are fandoms. I'll take their money.
He was actually really funny in the Trekkies documentary. He was talking about how where like people would come up and be like, "Can you bring people back from the dead?" He's like, "Yeah."
Sometimes.
They're like, "Cool."
Cool. And then they just walk off. Is that it? Trekkies is a great documentary. I need to rewatch that.
Dude, I still need to watch it. I keep
No.
putting it
Great.
off.
It's fantastic, man. It's so good.
I've been doing like all these freelance projects this month, and I have done nothing fun.
It's definitely like Tasha Yar, or like just trying to grasp onto her fame
Yes.
as being part of it.
Yes.
Yeah, because she was, I'm sure she's bummed about leaving the show prematurely.
Yeah.
I laughed.
She's like, guys, what about those first couple episodes, huh?
Remember me?
Come on.
Did your heart break when I died to that sludge monster unexpectedly?
Yeah, like it wasn't even like a great death. It was just like,
It was like a
"Man,
shitty-
done commercial.
Shitty ass death.
Yeah, she
Yeah, it
died
was
like
so
a red shirt.
stupid.
She died like a red shirt.
Yeah.
It's just a random away mission. The puddle of pure evil.
Yes. Yeah, what was that about? She's the only one they ever show their funeral of, because there's other times when like
Yeah,
what is it? Like Picard gets trapped on the holodeck, right, with his like historian friend who gets
Oh, yeah.
shot.
Naturally.
Who gets shot, and they never say if that guy lives or not.
no, they took a stick away. I
And he's
remember
just
that.
like, and he just was like joking while he's back on the deck, and you're like, what?
You know what I love? Like Tasha Yar's her funeral
Yes.
was like in a Windows background setting, you know, like Windows 90. Like they just walk out into a field and she's like Data, and then she's like assessing everybody and like what they mean to her and stuff like that. I'm like, you're dead. This is a dumb funeral.
I wonder if she just chose the default thing, right?
Not the Windows flying at you. That would have been the shit. If like it was the old Windows 95 background just flying through the holodeck.
So this is the thing that makes me mad because we're talking about the holodeck. I can go on my little holodeck rant. There's not a person in charge of the holodeck. Like all the times the holodeck messes up, there's not a guy.
Yeah.
There's
There's
not
not
like
some- There's not some dude in coveralls with a wrench.
yeah. Where's the IT holodeck guy?
He's like going in there.
No, it's
This is a
always
fair point. This is a fair point.
Because
Yeah.
Jordy's like, give the holodeck enough power to take over the ship, and no one is like, there should be a failsafe so that doesn't happen.
They're just like, sure, why not?
Why not?
It's like, well, just let anyone turn off the safety protocols. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
You know.
So where's it gonna happen?
Like, admin access to all users, guys.
And look,
Classic
if the holodeck were really there and you had someone like Riker on, we all know what Riker's doing in the holodeck.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, bone-in holograms. Non-stop, like,
I remember
I just
reading
don't
this
think
article.
Riker likes Sherlock Holmes. You know what I'm saying? I think he was doing what Picard was doing.
I remember reading
he's
an
like,
article
load
about how
program Poontang Riker.
there was this article about talking about how like if the holodeck actually existed, society would collapse as we know it.
Oh
I
yeah.
believe it. I totally believe that.
Yeah, because everything you ever need, like pretty much like 90%, 99% of people are driven by like trying to get laid. And if the
Yeah.
holodeck existed, there would be no purpose to eat or sleep. you just go to the holodeck like 24/7. It's everything you absolutely need, and like the replicators and the holodeck. That's all you need to like survive in life. No one will ever need to go out and interact or socialize with anyone because, like you
Very
just
true.
you just craft the perfect fucking program and you walk and just hang out there all day.
What are you drinking? That is incredible.
It is a
That appears to be a watermelon with a straw in it.
it is a watermelon with a straw and vodka in it.
Wow.
And vodka. Okay.
Yes.
You're throwing down, man. That's
You
crazy.
Canadians know how to party.
Look at that.
I don't know what this fruit is. It just like showed up on my doorstep. They don't have these up here.
Canada give you free drinks. Is that what's happening?
All we have is snow. Like I don't know what the
Yeah. Watermelons flourishing in Canada. That's what I think of when I think of the North.
Right. All the watermelon reserves. Yeah.
No, I believe that. Like seriously, the holodeck thing is. I mean, it's kind of a plot device for Star Trek, but like, there's so much like crazy shit that happens in it, and I think that a lot of the times the writers used it to kind of throw out Shakespearean acting. Like they would always kind of reenact like Hamlet or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's when my dad would like go and get like another beer and speak, oh, they're doing this.
It's like, do you know what people really want? They want to know what Data thinks of Mark Twain. Let's make this happen.
People are
Let's make this happen.
That's like the original Star Trek, like you could tell, like they had extra sets of like medieval stuff because that whole first season they're always going to like a planet where there's a castle where people are dressed as kings and queens or knights. You're just like, I don't think space exists this way, but every time there's like some omnipotent being who's just like, I made a medieval fantasy world for you to run around in. And it's like, I get it.
It's like, well, guys, we have this old West set. Can we do something with that?
Yeah. Anything? Like, what's the planet of Old West?
Sure, why not? Okay.
Do you guys? So I think we talked about this. There was a cruise for Star Trek that just, I don't know if it just happened or if it was like about to happen, but it's sometime this year.
Sure, you don't know.
But it was like, I'm Googling now.
Circled on your calendar.
I didn't Google it and bookmark it and
It's not live stream.
10 years in advance.
But it was like nothing but Star Trek: The Next Generation cast, and then like Shatner, like latching on once again to try and like.
Shatner.
You guys remember me, James T. Kirk? Did
you forget me?
Do you know he's like 81?
Yeah, he doesn't. That's the thing. He doesn't look 81. Which
No.
is insane. Yeah, it's insane how young the guy looks. Well, 50s maybe. 80, no.
Nah, not at all.
And he should be like super bald, like I don't know.
No.
He has
Like,
more hair
what's-
than us, dude. What is going on with that?
I think like him and Elton John like have a secret or something. Like they just know two guys who can like
They
figure
did
this out.
something.
Elton John.
They're just like bathing in virgin blood in their bathtub.
Elton John.
That's
It's like you have a
That's not
list
a
of
comedy.
people who should not still have hair that you just pull from.
I'm
Yeah.
passionate about hair loss. Who was it? Jason Alexander, the guy who
That hair
played George
my
on,
favorite of yours.
the guy who played George
I
on.
totally identify with it. The stages of hair loss.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a great strip.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Because it's late. I identify with it, but then I showed it to my wife, and she just totally just thought it was hilarious. And I'm like, yeah, this transcends even my nerddom. So my wife actually has normal people taste. So
Normal people taste.
Define normal.
actually, I was going to say there's some nerddom in there. There totally is. How could you live with me if you?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Okay, how we doing on our? I'm just kind of
Chat.
making explodey effects. Oh, Barney versus the Easter Bunny. He's
Oh,
diving
nice.
into your
There you go, going into my backlog of life.
Wesley's backlog.
I'm happy to draw Barney
Okay.
as Easter Bunny.
Do we have suggestions or
Is there anybody in the chat?
closest to done
Yeah,
with this?
there's
I
9
could press on.
people watching. How's it
9.
going? 9 people.
Hi,
9,
Enzo fans. Fans of Cheer Up Emo Kid and 3 Dads.
And 3 dads. You know what? That's really what we should call the
3 men and
here
a
out.
kid.
3 dads and a successful webcomic artist.
Yeah.
Let's just change it out.
Yes, that's what it really is. That's what it really is.
You guys are being way too hard on yourself.
I wanted to do some kind of Halloweenish thing at some point.
Should do it.
Yeah, I do too,
I don't
actually.
know why.
I know what you're talking about.
Thought about taking like horror icons like Headless Horseman or Jason Voorhees or something and exploring their lesser known hobbies other than killing people. You know, something like that. I don't know.
I think it's a great idea.
I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you know, totally. It's like Jason's actually an excellent chef.
Freddy Krueger has a deep love of dream diary keeping.
Michael Myers is a brony.
He just takes off one mask and puts on the pony mask.
He did have 2 sisters, man. He did have 2 sisters. So,
You gotta pick it up somehow.
2 sisters. He picked up the brony. Until he murdered one of them, I guess.
Yes.
Well, you each want to pick one?
Okay.
You pick a famous.
Let's do this.
Let's live the dream.
I mean, I'm a big
Doll
Jason
collector.
Voorhees fan, so I think I have to.
Take Jason.
You take Jason.
Yeah, I
You go with
gotta
Freddy,
do
you
some
gotta pull
Jason
up
Voorhees.
pictures.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Do what a horror. I feel like I never pronounced that word right.
Horror?
I know.
Horror.
Horror?
Yeah, there we go. Does on their off time. So like
Okay.
what would Jason Voorhees do in his spare time when he's not murdering
Yeah.
campers? Like what does he do during winter?
When he's not busy
He just
murdering
loves-
people, he likes long
He just
walks
loves
on the
Christmas.
beach. Yeah. Actually, he's scared of water, so I mean that wouldn't.
Okay.
I feel like he would just like clean up. Like
I watched
Camp Crystal, just,
I watched The Final Girls last night. This new horror movie, and it's like Cabin in the Woods for slasher movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like this meta funny thing. It was so good. It was awesome.
Cabin in the Woods was nuts.
Oh
Oh,
man, yeah,
it's one of my all-time favorite movies ever.
fantastic. And so
I
like that's
feel-
like this one. This one I don't want to spoil anything, but this one's just like it's sort of like that treatment, but just to slashers. It's like all about slasher tropes. So, but it's like the
Cool.
meta, self-aware kind of thing. It was really neat. Oh gosh, now I'm just getting creepy photos of Kane Hodder because I look for Jason. What a frightening looking man. Oh, and then where do we leave off in Enzo's transitioning to being a webcomic story? Buying cool gear?
Oh, yeah.
Saving money? We can circle back to that, I guess, too. I want to hear the rest. We derailed you because we were so like, ooh, how do we do that?
Well, I completely lucked out because of the Pasic. To be completely honest, with the Pasic, I'm actually a contracted artist with them. They pay me to put my comic on their site.
Oh,
Oh,
excellent.
nice. I didn't know they did that, actually. I assumed
Yeah.
that happened, but
Yeah, I did not know that. I didn't know either. And that was actually one of the things that really helped me go full time. And but apart from that, like I get a lot of ads from my web. I put ads on my website. That's one of my primary revenue streams. And then cons, conventions.
oh, nice.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
sell a lot of crap at cons. It's really weird because I don't actually have a merch store online. It's one of those things that's always been on a to-do list. And I was, like being a web developer, I'm just like, I should build my own fucking store, which is like the smartest idea ever, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, let's build my own fucking shopping cart. Let's do all the security.
That's what I need to spend my time on right now. Yeah.
So that's the reason why it's not. There's no stores because I thought I could do it myself.
Let's do this easy, low-risk stuff like handling credit cards
Yeah.
and passwords. Let's do
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. But basically, yeah, that's my revenue. Conventions, mostly local and Canadian conventions. I've never sold in the U.S. before, just because like it's kind of a nightmare trying to sell shit in the U.S.
Oh
without
yeah, I can.
like, because like there's apparently like there was actually a pretty there's a story about Ryan Silmar with Least I Could Do. Like he tried they tried crossing the border with merch, trying to get into the U.S. to sell stuff, and they were held back because you need to like you need to fill out all these forms, you need to actually go through a tax like lawyer and all this
Oh
shit.
my god.
Customs is a real bitch.
It's
Yeah.
really bitch because like the thing is there are issues that like, oh, you're taking American money and you're bringing it to Canada. They don't like that. Like they want their fucking taxes, you know.
Just wait till Donald Trump's our next president, man. You'll have to like
Yeah,
scale a wall.
I know.
I've been really enjoying politics because of all that, because it's a shit show. It's a complete shit show down here.
I haven't heard that much about the American politics, but what I've heard is that shit insane. Like
Yeah.
what about Mexicans? What?
Yeah.
Dude.
It's
Like drug
embarrassing.
lords from were like threatening him. I mean, it was pretty crazy. Like it's a complete shit show. Like everybody's just. It's kind of like what's really happening is a lot of people are running and they want to put a book out and have speaking engagements for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So like all these complete whack jobs are really kind of taking the limelight because they're saying crazy shit, and then eventually they'll fizzle out and the real candidates will kind of be there left, you know. But during this time of every election cycle, it's starting to become like a reality show.
Very much reality show. So cons, I always thought or I've thought lately a con might be an interesting thing for us to try sometime.
Have you guys done them in the past or ever considered doing them?
I think Steven did one at some point, right?
Yeah, I've done two actually.
How did you like them?
My first one, I spent way too much money and it was cool. I got pushed to the back. It was a great experience, but I was a no-name artist and I was pretty much near a bathroom. That's the only reason I got traffic.
Uh-huh.
You know? Artist, I just on the outskirts of the artist. Yeah, hey, what's going on? You want this drawing? Did you wash your hands?
Yeah. But
Hey, I see there's a line. Why don't you look at my stuff?
honestly though, like going into cons, like I've learned that I need to go into the mentality that like, yes, I am an unknown. No one knows who I am, and like that's totally fine, you know. Like the thing that I've learned from going to cons is people like personalized shit, so they like drawings of themselves. They like stuff they can wear, and they like books. Because like I do a lot of cons with Luke McKay. He does balls to that. He did the Rooster Teeth comics, and people just like come in. They always buy his books. They love buying his books, and like people just like collections, you know. Especially people who like need they don't really know, they like kind of like they need the discovery, right? They don't really know who you are, but they're interested. You caught their eye with like your artwork, right?
Yeah.
So they go and like they ask for a book. I'm like, because I've been asked so many times, do I have a collection? I'm like, no, and they're like, oh, and they walk away, and just like, no, come back. Like,
Oh, sucks for you.
I can take a bunch of prints and staple them together. That's a book.
Yes, I have a stapler, guys. Please, come back.
It's one of a kind collection.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
everyone's unique. Different staple, different place.
Well, like just cons are like this entire different like animal that's dealing with them. Like of course you're gonna have the super successful people, but me, I'm kind of just like at the bottom on the bottom rung when it comes to cons. But like as long as I can make the table and then make a little bit out above that, then I'm totally happy. And that seems to be working for me.
Yeah, I thought that'd be fun if we ever did a zine of some of our drawings or something, just to
People
sit there,
love
sell
That
some
would be a great idea.
stuff,
I've,
draw
like,
some stuff.
When I did the Charlotte one, there was a couple of podcast guys who actually brought all their sound recording equipment, grabbed a table in Artist Alley, and basically just did the podcast from Artist Alley. I would interview like passersby and some artists who they scheduled some slots with.
I have seen a couple of people do that too. It's really interesting. But I mean, it just personally, I feel like it feels like a lot of hassle, like unless they really already have a large audience.
Yeah.
And if they're interviewing a lot of people like passersby, then it would be interesting to me. But like, if they weren't doing that, like they have to be. I feel like they have to be something. Just being there doesn't make it unique enough for me. Like, I feel like they need to interview a lot of people. They need to like talk to other artists. Should be really cool.
So you're saying we should do drawing with dads at a con together?
Yeah.
I like the sound of this. And cool that you sleep on his couch. I'm volunteering Nick's couch.
It's a pretty big couch.
There you go. See.
It's a sectional. You could each have a section.
But yeah, cons. I love cons. The first con I ever did, like I was lucky, like you, Steven. Like we were at this table right next to the bathroom entrance. So we had this captive audience of people who needed to piss.
Yeah.
We're just like, hey, wait a second, before you pee yourself, just come read our comic.
I've heard of that. A lot of people, they'll actually try, instead of getting like the center aisle where the traffic is, they'll try and get near like the nacho stand.
Yeah, most of the time you can't really choose where you are, but yeah.
It's like
I think if you know, see, I think
wherever
if you
they're
know
selling
people,
booze.
if you know people, you kind of can. Like there was a guy who had been doing, who does like, who I was near. His name's Wally, and he does the rounds. He's just an artist, but he does the rounds. Like he'll go Charlotte, all around. He'll follow the cons all the way up to like C2E2 and out west and stuff. And he'll like Emerald City. He'll spend his entire year just doing this, and that's how he makes money. And he kind of knew the event organizers for all of them, so he would always get like really good tables by, despite being like, semi well known. I don't know, just maybe well known in the art community, but not really like to fans.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we just need to get to know, buy them some drinks, get to know them all. Okay. Use our dad charms.
Networking skills.
Tell him my one boogie joke, and that's it.
Oh, dude. That's an
That's the
icebreaker
one
right there. That is an icebreaker.
Hey, I got an icebreaker.
You could like pull out a tissue and like wipe your nose and be like, oh, hey guys, do you know, it could be like totally casual. Launch into it.
Any move that starts out with you wiping your nose, I'm not sure.
Oh, but they'll never forget you, man. They'll instantly forget us. Yeah. And that's something I thought about just recently, because I'll sit and watch endless YouTube videos of guys drawing at cons. I was like, that's what we do on the stream. Just take bizarre requests and draw stuff, right?
Yep.
Totally.
Yeah, the only issue with cons, with all the ones I've been to, is like they're usually in these big buildings that have kind of shitty Wi-Fi or shitty phone reception.
Oh yeah.
So they're just like, oh hey, why don't you pay $300 for Wi-Fi per day?
That's no joke. It really is that expensive. Like in Charlotte, it was ungodly. I was like, no way, not doing it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They're just like, oh yeah, that's the corporate price. I'm like, yeah, but I'm a fucking guy who does shit in my living room. I don't, like 300 is how much I spent getting here.
Yeah.
I don't even know nice enough pants for this.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have nice enough clothes to wear to a comic book convention, so I cannot do this. Because Wizard World has come here a few times to Nashville, I believe.
Have you ever been?
I haven't gone a single dang time. I meant to this year, and some of my friends went, and I did not get my stuff together and go.
Yeah.
But they've come a few times. Maybe they'll come again.
I think they're like Nashville is one of their stops now. So.
Because Tom was saying, it was Tom. Wesley knows Tom, and he was my roommate in college. He's like, man, you could sell some stuff there. He's like, there are guys that can't draw as good as you that are selling some stuff there. You could, you're just as good as any of them. He's like trying to give me a pep talk, which I greatly appreciate.
I think Tom might actually be on the stream listening.
He might be out there.
He might be out there.
He was just kind of like, we can cut it with some of these guys. We could draw some stuff and sell it. So.
What's his last name? What's his last name?
It's Tom Deal.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Tom Deal.
Yeah, I follow him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was my roomie.
Nice.
Nice.
They lived across from me.
Hey Tom.
We did. We've known each other a long time. Yeah.
We go back to the old school because we're so cool.
You know, it's nice. I'm glad other
Mine.
people have confidence in us and in themselves. That's all I need. Okay, I just about have my Jason penciled in here. I've got to see what you guys are up to. So a process of saving money and working the cons and finding some revenue streams and going for it. That's Wesley, that looks awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hold on, let me see. Let's see this. God, that's awesome.
You end up in a world where
I had a dream where I killed a.
a world where Freddy plays an electric guitar.
Dear Diary. You should spell diary like D-I-E-A-R-Y.
Oh, dude, that's dynamite.
Brilliant.
Dynamite.
Oh, that's the best.
Awesome.
This is why you're a professional.
This is why we're here, guys.
It's real deal, guys.
See, machete.
It took me I finally decided on Godzilla. I was trying to choose a good movie monster.
Love it.
Oh, let me see. You did Godzilla?
Oh, that's fantastic. Iconic.
Did you ever see Cloverfield?
I
Yeah.
did see Cloverfield.
Yes. I had high hopes for that movie, and I actually don't remember how I felt about it, but it probably wasn't good.
It was like intense. I remember it being intense, and like I was excited about it. I was like, yeah, a monster movie. You know, and there wasn't like they were trying to make it off as like the American Godzilla.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it was just kind of, it came across like it was cool in a way, but it was also like they had to keep explaining why they were filming,
I know.
like on a webcam, you know,
Yeah.
or like on a portable camera.
He's like, we have to remember this.
This is important.
Yeah.
And they're still rolling like as they're about to die. They're like, "Hey, I love you," and then it goes to black. It's like, okay, we get it. Blair Witch was successful.
Oh, Blair Witch was like disgustingly successful. I understand why. All those
That's one
scary
I've never
movies.
done. That's one I've never done.
Blair Witch?
I've never seen Blair Witch.
You probably
Really?
shouldn't now.
You're like, dude, you're well on your way. I did
10
watch
years ago, it would have been good.
that guy did I'm blanking on his name. The director, he did a Bigfoot movie this year called Exist. It's like a found footage Bigfoot movie, and it is awesome.
Yeah?
Really?
I'm kind of a geek for Bigfoot movies though, because I have horrible taste.
How many Bigfoot movies are there? I mean,
Oh,
other than
there's a good many. There's many a Bigfoot movie.
Did I ever tell you guys we met like a Bigfoot chaser at a wedding, like in my sister-in-law's wedding? She's like legit, like she chases.
Bigfoot?
Well,
Wow.
she's the one. She's like, we're all drunk. We're all drunk at the wedding, and she's like,
It's like he's over there.
seriously,
Get him.
we have found some. She's like, we have found some things that's gonna rock your world. Next month, they're coming out with some findings that's gonna change the face of science. And so we're like, really? And it ended up being like, she's like, we found some DNA. And then so they sent it off to a lab where they thought was like Bigfoot's leg, but it was like a dead dog
Oh
mixed
my
with
God.
like some raccoon feces and shit. So I'm like, I was like, you got to be kidding me! This woman's insane. But they're out there.
They are out there.
I was like, she's certifiable. Like, where's like she was married stuff? I'm like, man, that guy puts up with a lot.
Oh,
Oh my God.
oh.
Dude, it's one of our evolutionary ancestors that lived on, man. Don't you know?
It's real.
Interesting
Don't you
people,
know?
but they're super secretive, and they sometimes howl like wolves,
It's an ancient and throw rocks at people.
and they throw rocks at people. I saw this one crazy one about like a British guy coming over to America to like follow Bigfoot hunters around, and it got like absolutely insane. It was like absolutely maddening. I think the ending shot was him getting tackled by a guy in a suit of Bigfoot, like in the middle of the night.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. That is
Like this
hilarious.
other guy had like hired someone to like essentially do that. He was just like, and like the shot was him on a plane, like just covered in like bruises on his face. He's just like, never again. That was the last time that guy went
What
to
a
Florida.
ripoff.
Yeah.
I've watched maybe a few Bigfoot specials on the History Channel just because I find it hilarious. Like Ancient Aliens. Ancient Aliens just cracks me up.
Oh, that guy,
That's
yeah.
great.
That guy's
Oh, I love
hilarious.
That guy's like, bugs, they're aliens.
How
That's-
can you explain that there are bugs on Earth today?
Yeah, it's the answer to everything. It was like, really,
wasn't-
bugs?
If it wasn't a higher intelligence leaving them here.
What has happened to that
Rockets.
channel? What has happened to like those channels? Like the learning channel's garbage.
I
think
used
that
to
was the-
actually watch those. Like
I
back
did too.
when
Like
Modern Marvels. So cool.
that was pretty sweet.
That's cool.
If we learned anything, it's that learning sucks and needs to be replaced by like terrible reality TV show.
I just like to think there's like a new CEO that came in and he's like, whatever, nerd. Like the guy from Revenge of the Nerds, you know.
Oh yeah.
Whatever, you guys
Cool.
are bunch of nerds. I'm making this station cool again. Hoarders.
It's like, but by observing the small wobbles of distant stars in space, we can tell if, and he like punches him in the gut. He's like, well, nerd, what's the capital of Thailand? Bangkok, crack, and he just kicks him in the crotch, you know? Riddle me this, nerd. I don't
Remember
have
the
any
second
type of
Revenge of the
frustration.
Nerds when he like breaks his arm playing chess?
No. I've only seen the first Revenge of the Nerds. I'm behind on my nerddom.
There's like
I've only
7 or
seen-
something. There's
Yeah,
so
I've
many.
only
of them.
seen 1, 3, and 9.
I did not know there was a 9. Holy hell.
I don't think there is a 9. I made that up.
Oh,
I know that he's
I
related
believed it
to.
did.
I know he's related to Kwai Ching King, and that's about it. Right? Robert Carradine is in that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
David Carradine. Yeah, he's in an old episode of Kung Fu where he plays a mute guy, the main nerd.
That's so crazy.
Harrison Ford's in one of the old episodes of Kung Fu.
Why do I know this crap? Like, it seems like something useful could be.
Yeah. All right, now tell me everyone important to you's birthday. Like, oh.
See, my wife is 30th of August.
Maybe. Well, I don't know.
I bought her socks for her birthday.
Yeah. You are crazy for
For
this.
her birthday. I'm crazy about socks.
I just imagine that they're regular socks. There's like nothing special about them.
Those are like extra thick socks. They're really expensive.
Look, they were on like the $2.99 aisle. I could have gotten the $1.99 socks, but I love them.
I'm trying to draw a hedge. This is not going well. How does one appropriately draw a hedge? Okay.
You don't. It's a trick.
Weirdly enough, my first Google image search for the hedge returned a woman doing nude yoga, and I'm like, okay.
You don't do the hedge at home?
I guess what it
The classic
is. The downward facing hedge, yeah. I don't know.
My brother's old church, they had this like program they were doing. It was called Faith Renewed Outreach Center, FROC. And whenever you Googled FROC, it came up with like a term. I think it's like for basically like sword fighting in the gay community.
Oh no. You gotta Google this stuff, guys. You gotta Google this stuff.
I don't think that's really what it was, but I remember it was like really graphic. I'm totally wrong on the term, but like it was really like just like, okay, you guys really got to change your name quick. Somebody's gonna like come for religious counseling and then end up with like a totally crazy site.
Someone comes and they're like, I'm very disappointed in this right now.
Right. Like, wait, this is a place for spiritual counseling? Wait, this is something else.
I have to go. I'm sorry. This is not what I thought it was.
I remember
My unzipped
so
their ass to say it.
There was like I remember I saw it on Reddit, but people would go around the Tea Party um, rallies and pass out. They're like, "Hey, you like the Tea Party? You should check out our website. We're the Lemon Party," which is basically like a
Oh,
link to like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
lemon party.
Yeah, don't go.
Please.
But it was basically just to like troll these like rednecks at the Tea Party rallies.
Oh,
Dirty porn.
this is the world we live in. But hey, I'm drawing Jason Voorhees creating a topiary, so
You're doing well in life. That's all.
I just assumed that's what a guy with a machete would do. He's like, I think I'll branch out here and trim some hedges.
Branch out.
Yeah.
You did it.
Branch out? Oh, dude, that's pretty good. Ooh,
Hey, do you guys know how to flip a layer or like a selection in Manga Studio?
Oh,
that's where I defer to Wesley.
Oh, I
you
Put
do.
him on the spot.
Once you select it, you can do edit, transform.
There's some kind of transform tool, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and the transform, there's flip horizontal and flip vertical. So if
Oh
you
yeah.
you should be able to go in there and just.
I think there's just a bunch of icons under it, right? And one of them's like the
Oh
flip.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I end up in the pull down list more often than not, just because I am lazy. I don't know. I'm like a small Surface Pro, so
Well, it's not because you're lazy; it's because you're so smart and efficient.
it is. There you go.
Right.
That's the compliment I was looking for.
Yeah, totally.
Enzo, what software do you use?
I actually was just about to ask you what you thought of Manga Studio.
I thoroughly enjoy it. So I've talked about this before, but I switched because I found my limitation with Photoshop Elements, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of money to buy like the newer version or get the subscription for Photoshop.
Yeah.
And so Manga Studio went on sale for like $15, as it does like every season, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. It's totally geared towards comic artists.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I have heard a lot of good things about it. I've tried it out too, and it seems really good. Just because, like, I'm just too used to. Cause I use Flash primarily.
Okay.
as a
No
drawing.
way. Awesome.
And I'm just so used to it. Just like it's really hard, like trying anything else. I have not that I haven't tried. I have. Um, I don't know. I'm just so used to it now.
So it's like a vector brush kind of dealio, then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
I like being able to like draw anything I want and then not worry about having whether or not I want to print it later on. And I guess Manga Studio doesn't Manga Studio have a
Yeah,
like
it
you
has
can
a
switch
vector.
you can switch between them.
Yeah, it's nice. So you can do. I always do my line work on a vector layer, so it's really easy to rescale and stuff. And I'm not concerned about it. Then I just do the coloring underneath
Okay.
faster, just because you can do the flood filling quicker, and it'll
Yeah.
pick up on all that other stuff. You can set it to like all layers, flood fill all layers and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely
So,
I like I did try out Manga Studio a little bit and I did like it. I think I would probably use it if I did start another comic, but with my current one, probably not.
I can understand that for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like any right tool to make web comics with. It's kind of just like whatever you get comfortable with and enjoy making it.
Yeah, I like inking in Manga Studio. I find I'm using Photoshop right now, and then I'll like take it into Photoshop for colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds really
I
common.
have all my fancy little brushes and stuff that I like in Photoshop. So I really there's something about like the pressure sensitivity I really like in Manga Studio. Like it's easy to calibrate and stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I really
Wes
do
has
too.
taught me
Like, I
some
totally
tricks on that, and I like it.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Actually, I really enjoy that too. This is I'm like a huge fan of this software now. Definite proponent.
Nice.
Are you considering the Switch, You think? I mean, if you like, say, how close are you to doing a new comic?
Um, I'm doing a new one right now, but it's just for just a one-off. It's not going to be like any like regular whatchamacallit, what's the word for it? Like a regularly updated thing. It's just like it's going to be like a novel, one book, I guess. And once I finish it, I'm going to move on. Just like kind of an autobiographical comic. Um,
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Pardon? What was
I
that?
just said those are the best. Those are the best. I'm sure I'm not biased in any capacity.
Those are the highest art, right, Wes?
Yeah, those
The
are,
thing that
all
I
the other
think is
ones are
cool,
hacks.
the thing that I think is cool about this is something Wesley and I talked about once, is like he has like a drawn journal
Uh-huh.
in a way. I mean, even if stuff's not exactly what happened, like you exaggerate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
it would be cool for your daughter to look and see what kind of goofy comics was my dad drawing when I was born. Like that's
Uh-huh.
just kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking
that is
like,
really cool.
I gotta say that's pretty neat. So even if you just did a one-off that was some stuff like that, it'd be cool to look back on years later, probably.
Mm-hmm. And be
Yeah.
like, what the fuck was I thinking when I drew this one?
Gosh, I was such a jerk.
yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll make it easier for her to like forgive me, like for any mistakes I make. It's just like, oh, he was just a huge nerd. It all makes sense now.
Right. Oh, why did he
Nick,
make me dress up like Star Trek characters?
that's funny. Nick, are you working on a comic project at all, or it's just kind of like a hobby?
These guys have gotten me thinking about it. I've actually drawn a few and then done nothing with them.
Mm-hmm.
I like fell into a void of doing freelance work
Yeah,
like the past 2 months and didn't touch it again. I don't know.
yeah,
I might do it.
Do it.
Do
Do
it.
it.
yeah.
Do it. I'm sure
I
at
do have a
least 10
definite
people.
interest in like you say, the thing about like books, like people's fascination with books. I want to be making some.
Yeah.
So I like this idea of us taking some of the things we're doing here and turning it into other things. So like a Star Trek fanzine or just publications of our art or things like that. I like that. So I
Okay.
at least want to be doing something like that for sure. But they're going to stay on me until I finally get over, I don't know, if I have self-esteem
Yeah.
issues or confidence issues or what. Yeah, I'll finally put some stuff out there.
Well, nothing makes you feel better than drawing a comic and having it completely ignored by the masses.
Yeah.
So, it's just a huge ego boost. It's like,
But one thing I really have discovered though is that I am a far less like stressed out person when I'm drawing regularly. Like
Yeah.
it's just something I enjoy. It just feels like a mental space or something. I guess like some people jog or like do something healthy,
Mm-hmm.
Just like it helps me zone out and forget stress. I'm like, dude, I just need to sit on my butt longer and draw for a while.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's still happy. So that's
I-
been one of the main appeals of this to me. Is it gets me just like challenging myself to draw different stuff.
Uh-huh.
Having other people, to see my work and to see their work, and especially now that we're having guests on like you, that's even more so. So yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoy doing this and hope to turn it into some other stuff
awesome.
too.
That's definitely awesome. I did have a coworker who was like, she draws really well. So I asked, but she just works in marketing. So I asked her like, why don't you ever do comics or do like things? Because she draws like really really well. She's like, oh, if I ever tried doing it full time, I'd get bored of it. I'm like, God damn it.
You're so good. Could I just take some of your talent?
Exactly. She does it really well. And I was like, damn, like she does like of course like you always look at other artists, you're just like, man, I wish I could do what they could do. You know?
Man, there's this
Even-
guy in our art program in school that he was like maybe in his late 30s or early 40s, and he was from Tokyo. And he wound up coming to, rural Tennessee to attend college. And he was just an amazing painter. Like, I remember he painted this thing that was like this 6-foot wide portrait of someone.
Uh-huh.
Just ridiculous. Like, the school bought it and put it on display and all this stuff. And he wanted to be a video editor. I'm like, dude, You can't go be a video editor if you can paint like that. But he actually wound up becoming a drawing instructor back in
Oh, yeah, is that
Japan.
what he's up to?
Mm-hmm. And his painting wound up by the president's office, man, in the hallway. So
Wow.
right outside her office. So people see it all the time. And it's funny because it became like this mysterious thing on campus. Like, who painted this thing? And he like came back, like, I think it was this past year. They had an article about him. And he went to find his painting, and they were all asking him questions and stuff. I'm like, we all know. We were there when he did it.
It's not that big of a mystery. Calm down.
I just remember him talking like, we'd be like, this painting's amazing. We do something else like this. And it's almost like he was tortured by his perfectionism. He's like, I don't know. That took a really long time to do. That's all he kept saying. He didn't speak the most English, but he was just like, that took a long time to do. That's all he kept saying. I mean, kind of like you're saying, though. It's like, could I steal some of your talent then and spend all my time doing that? Because that's awesome. So.
That's how I imagine all portraiture artists, like, they're really just spending like 8 hours on a drawing, and then they're done with it. They're like, God, I hate this.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, man, we have a friend that does, like, hyper-detailed stuff. And I have a portrait he did hanging in my house. And I just think about how many hours did that take.
Man.
I respect it immensely.
Yeah.
Because here we are doing, like, 3 drawings in 3 hours, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
We're just fast because we're so skilled, though. I mean, obviously.
Yeah. If he was as talented as us, he'd
Yeah, for real. You'd be drawing
What a
stuff
hack.
way faster.
Is that a Paxton?
Mm-hmm. He showed me this drawing he was doing of, it's the Flash TV show, the guy that's the Flash, and it's ridiculous. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
suck, you're really good.
You started in
Oh,
Manga
you're so
Studio too, right?
So, yeah, I did that in a few hours last night. I'm just like, ugh,
God damn it.
so good.
Whatevs. I was drunk.
I was like, yeah, I could do that too.
No big deal.
I'm probably just gonna throw it away. I'm gonna hate you.
Die in a fire.
I have a friend like that too, who's just Michael T.
Oh, yeah.
He just has these great like real Shel Silverstein-esque cartoons. They're
That's,
like
dude, Shel Silverstein is a very good
The best.
comparison for him, too. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Shit. It's the highest
just-
praise.
Yeah, he's like mad talented, and he's just kind of like, It's just like, ugh. Drive me up the wall.
Steven or Wesley, do you guys have any comic projects going on besides Rain Dogs or Nameless PCs?
Well, I've been like working on a second strip actually for a while now. I've gotten like 3 or 4 inked. Well, I'd say more like 10 drawn, sketched out, but like 4 inked and like 2 colored. You know.
Okay.
And I wanted to do like this weekly comic of just like cooking with Steve or something like that, where I just basically like, hey, this is how you're gonna make a burger. This is how you make a badass thing or whatever. Just some kind of weird thing about food, but then botch it like immediately and everything. Like they never actually cook anything, and he sucks at cooking. And I just have basically like a cooking segment in comic form.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So I've got a couple written out. Like one of them is how to cook an artichoke, because like it sucks. If you've ever cooked an artichoke, it's hell on
I
earth.
have not. Like what is it's a vegetable.
Yeah, it's like a cactus, I think.
Okay.
And you
What is difficult?
I really want to eat a cactus right now. Gosh,
Delicious.
totally
delicious.
hit my cactus craving.
mm,
I don't know.
put this on my burger. It's they're
What
like
made you want to eat a cactus?
So do you cook, Steven? Is this a thing that you enjoy doing? Or
I
you-
do enjoy it. I don't have the freedom to always do it, because you know when you're a parent, like
Oh my
you
gosh.
eat your food as fast as hell because they're about to get down and
Well,
put their dirty hands on everything.
As soon as you put some effort into cooking something, they're gonna be like, I'm not gonna eat that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's
Totally.
like okay.
Because I'm like the resident chef in our house. I am no chef by any means, but I understand your woes in that sense. If I
And
put
like
the time forth to make something cool, and Jude's just like, I'm not doing
Fuck
that.
you.
I want fruit
Yeah.
snacks and fruit snacks. Give me fruit snacks and
Yeah, he's
chips.
like, could I just have a peanut butter sandwich? Like, you've already had 3 of them today, kid.
That's enough.
Where's my snack pack?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you've been there.
You got it down already, man.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Have kids.
There you
Have
go.
you just start having kids?
Like, should I be scared?
No. Well, yeah, I don't know.
No, don't. Everybody like hypes up the scary stuff about having kids,
Yeah.
but there's like all the cute stuff nobody wants to talk about because they
Mhm.
want to just scare you. But you know, it's like it's great. Just hearing your kid laugh like is the best. And like my daughter just learned like peekaboo, where she will
Oh,
hold up a
man.
sheet and then you'll go, "Where's Maple?" And then she'll pull it down and you just act surprised and she will laugh for like just, and then she'll just do it again and it's
yeah.
the best.
Mine just
It is
started
the
doing
best.
that. She'll like
You know what's-
walk
you know
in
what's-
my office and laugh and like run out and then like run back
Yes.
in and like die laughing again. It's just walking in and out of her room. It's like peekaboo to
Yeah,
her.
it's hilarious. Well, she can finally
Mine
move,
started-
so she's just like, this is amazing.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
My
Like a
son
captive
just-
audience has no choice but to listen to your jokes.
Yes.
I love that idea.
Yes. He gets it.
This is why we make children.
Finally, someone to try out my knock knock jokes on.
Now I just want to do a comic where like someone's sitting in a psychiatrist chair and just telling all the problems, and it's just a baby sitting there who can't move. As the psychiatrist.
I don't think you should be worried, man. It's pretty cool, actually. Like, there's a lot of rewarding aspects of it. I mean, it's stressful in a way, but just because like it's just you're kind of vicariously living through everything they're going through. Like every
Yeah.
emotional,
You want to
every like
protect them from
emotional.
everything, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So when they're like frustrated with something, I guess you're kind of frustrated because
For
they're
them.
frustrated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you really do kind of go through all those life steps again.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
you have weird flashbacks for sure. I'll remember things like one day I said something to my oldest that my dad used to say to me all the time that I totally had forgotten was a
And then
thing
you're-
he said, and I literally clasped my hands over my
that blew
mouth
your
and was
mind.
like,
No.
I mean, it wasn't like
No.
something like bad or something, but I was just like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, my dad used to say that to me
I am
constantly
my
when I
dad.
was a kid.
I have
Yes,
become him.
it happens.
Isn't that
Yeah, you know,
wild?
The thing I always say is you're just gonna have to be ready, to sacrifice some things now and again, and you're pretty good to go. You pretty much have done all you can do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to sacrifice a little time or things for them, and if you're willing to do that, or once you're forced to do that, you respond okayish to it, you're good to go.
Awesome.
Dude, you know what's been really cool lately? My son's been pretending. But
Oh,
like
yeah.
he kind of come back to the cooking thing. He pretends to make me like food and hot dogs and stuff. So he's like, "You want a hot dog?" It's like, "Hell yeah, I do." Like maybe a hot dog. And he's like, he just stirs the floor and pulls some carpet and then like smashes it together and he expects me to like eat it out of his hand and stuff like that. So it's been pretty badass.
I love that. I love that. So my younger boy, he's almost 3, right? And then the oldest is almost 5. So the younger boy has gotten to where he can play better pretend kind of stuff. He's kind of caught on. And so they're running around and like being Ninja Turtles and stuff, and it's just hilarious fun to figure out what name you're supposed to be calling them for the day,
Yeah.
according
Yeah.
to who they are. And it's just cool. Like such reckless abandon to just having fun.
Yeah. There's nothing else they have to do.
Yes. It's like, I'm just going to have fun. And if I want a drink, you're going to go get it for me.
That's true.
It's good times. He's like learning to read and stuff. It's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I had to memorize the vowels at one point in my life. I totally forgot that.
Vowels?
That's
What's
so
the
funny.
That I
vowels?
had to learn A-E-I-O-U and sing a weird song about it.
Why is the alphabet in the order it is? Who decided the order of the alphabet?
The Greeks, I have no idea, but it's. I see where you're coming from. It's kind of like what?
Who put it in the order?
Oh, Wesley, that's funny. I'm laughing at your pinhead, man. That
Oh, thanks, man.
cracks
Yeah.
me up.
Oh, nice. I like it. I like the Jason with the house plant as well. That is amazing.
When I'm
Definitely
not
good.
into
Oh,
sadism,
nice.
I have a brony.
Dear Diary.
Oh, that's great.
You went for it. You
I
went
love
for it.
the fucking diary with the autocorrect, or what do you call it? Like the spell check.
Oh, did you put the squiggly lines? That's incredible.
Fucking amazing.
That's genius.
Man,
God.
I love that one you did a while back with the skeleton. And you did the words that were like made out of disembodied limbs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
With
Yeah,
the
that
pun
was
words.
great.
So there was a guy, Pogo the Possum. Have you ever heard of the Pogo the Possum strip?
I have not.
It's a very old comic strip, but it was a guy that was a Disney animator. I want to say his name was Walt Kelly, but he would do stuff like that. Like one character would speak in like black letter, you know,
Oh yeah.
and stuff like that. And it's just those people that were just insane draftsmen. I don't know. It makes me think of that. You like convey something about the way he says it by making that goofy disembodied limbs. It's like emphasis on this word,
Yeah.
and you read it like a cheesy pun, like even more so, and it's just great. I mean, a brilliant pun, not a cheesy pun.
It was a cheesy pun.
And so I dig your Godzilla smoke break. You know what that reminds me of? Did you guys ever play that game Rampage on Nintendo?
Yes.
It's totally.
Yeah, totally,
Oh my
right?
God.
Yeah.
Oh, that game was the shit, man. I love that thing.
You shrink down
The
to a
best
little
game.
naked person.
Yes.
Like, oh, I can't
That
believe
was
it
the
did that.
best game ever.
This,
Awesome.
I'll never forget. Like in fifth grade, it was like field day, and this kid was like, "Hey, can I be on the tug of war team?" I was on the tug of war team. He's like, "Can I have your spot?" I was like, "I don't know, man." He's like, "I'll give you my Rampage Nintendo game." I'm like, "Deal." And so that was how I got the game.
That was the best trade.
Bad deal, man. Bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is
Well, great deal for you.
he like super rich?
I guess so, man. I don't know. I came out on top though, so that's great.
He's
And
like,
they
I've
loved
only
it.
got like 4 of them.
In case
That
3
kid.
break down.
That kid, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All of your guys' stuff is amazing. I'm just gonna echo that. I love that Pinhead and that Godzilla and that Jason.
Love it. I love everything.
Love it. Love it all. Love it all.
I love all of you, and I love all of your things.
Everything.
Oh, thank
Crazy.
you.
Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful in this moment. Guys.
Heartwarming.
That's what you get
Megan
from
is
Joe
in the
right there.
chat. Megan.
Good.
What's
Yeah,
that?
our second best guest.
Oh,
After Indiana.
Ouch.
dang. Now she's left, dude. Now she's gone. Why'd you do that?
Ouch.
I'm not very good at this.
Okay, guys, I'm going to step out and re-beverage. I shall return.
In the room. In the room. What should we draw next?
I don't know. I'm spent. No, I'm just kidding. I'm drinking. So I got plenty of energy.
Oh yeah. I have my stupid thing. Watermelon drink.
Oh, let me see.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't have anything. Yeah.
There we go. Nice. God, that Cintiq is the shit, man. God, look at that. Do you ever spill anything on it? On your Cintiq?
I have.
I feel like I would easily like drop a pepperoni onto the screen.
Just drop. I guess like just droplets of things. Never like entire pepperoni.
That's just like half.
I know. Yeah. I'm torturing my. I found the animal again. This thing living in my house. What is it?
Okay.
What is this thing?
I hate
What
to
is
tell
it?
you, I think you're already a father. I think that's
What
just
is this? I don't understand what it does. Like,
doesn't
Can we
fit
eat
or
it?
anything.
I actually gotta. I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom.
Kitty
Go
cat.
for it.
There was
Yes,
the kitty cat.
Yeah.
I am rebeveraged.
Nice.
So shall we do at least one more drawing? We got to figure something out
I have no
Yeah.
idea.
by the time he comes back.
Let's talk trash about him.
We have to figure it out before he comes back, or he'll be like, "Gosh, what have you guys been doing?"
Yeah, really. We should just all draw Enzo's cat now. I think it's the most popular thing.
How's you guys' week been? Weeks, actually.
It's been a pretty good week. I don't know if anything too exciting has happened to me this week. It's been a pretty standard week.
It's like the end of fun.
I'm like, I finally made some good progress on some projects at work. It's been like a big like stress reliever week, I guess, which is nice.
Wes, how's freelancing?
This week was a little crazy.
Oh man, did you get to tell him about your thingy
I
thing?
haven't told him. So let's see. I started this week by going in into my old job to do like freelance. So I went on site. So it was like going back to the place I just left, which was like weird. It was very surreal.
That's it. That
It was
sounds
like
like a totally natural, normal day.
yeah. It's a lot like going back to college and sitting in on classes when you're like, I already have a degree. What's going on here? But it's nice because it's also like, oh, I've made the right choice. I totally made the right choice in leaving. Like just hearing some stuff going on and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see, Thursday. I haven't told many people just because I'm like panicked that something will go fall through. But like a local magazine contacted me and asked me to do the cover. So I have sketches
sweet.
on Monday. Yeah, so I have like 2 sketches for them, and they're pretty like big deal in Nashville, at least to me. I mean, they're around a lot, so it's
Yeah,
exciting.
they're someone we admire. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And so that will be exciting. So I'm hoping, it's like Monday I have to give them the sketches, and then by next Friday, and next week I'm also supposed to go back into the old job and do stuff again, but. I mean, that's nice because that's nice because it makes money, like
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like, all right, now I've made the money for the week and everything, or
You know
for
what you're
like the
gonna
month.
do? Do you know what you're gonna do for the
What was
sketch
that?
already?
Yeah, after the stream, I'll show you what I have. I have like I'm gonna give them 2 like kind of black and white line versions for the first like proofs or whatever, so they can kind of approve them or approve one of them hopefully.
Dude, fantastic. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, and so things seem to be picking up. And I have some other stuff to work on. And always fun, always fun. What about yours? Anything exciting going on?
My thing?
Is schooling going okay?
Yeah, it's going alright. School's intense. I mean, because there's like 2 projects due this week, and we might have a baby this week. Like I was actually in class the other day, and I remember being in class the other day, and there was this guy who was complaining about how he's got like a project due, and his parents are coming to town, and like, his save game was deleted, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to have a 3rd kid, like, chill the hell out.
Ooh, your fucking like save project is gone. Like, ooh, wow, your life is so hard.
Yeah.
I'm not doing trade my World of Warcraft account.
Time to go back and play Skyrim.
So I'm like, it falls on deaf ears. I'm like, okay, cool, great, nice, wow, you have it so hard. I got thrown up on before I left here.
Now, is it surreal to be in class with like kids who are essentially still kids?
In a way, so I'm 33, and like some of these kids are like I'm taking some prereqs at a graduate level, and so like for them it's like a junior class, but for me it's like a graduate level. I have to do extra work and all that crap. But some of them are just like 21. It ranges from like 21 to like 45, I think, in the class. But a lot of them are like 21, and so they're all just now hitting their 21st birthdays. So
Oh
they're
my
all like
gosh.
partying in this little kind of town, and it's just it's
Oh
kind
my
of crazy
gosh.
to be around all that again. Like I don't even relate to it. That's the weirdest thing about it. Is like it was so long ago for me that like whenever I like hear their story about how wasted they got, like that's an interesting conversation point or something. It's just I'm just I guess past all that.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
It's
Old
just I'm at
school.
that age where it's no longer interesting to hear how wasted you get, or like how like how messed up you got at a party.
I honestly
Like
felt that
making
way going into the first year of college. Because, like, growing up in Taiwan, it was kind of just like we weren't really. People were clubbing when we were like 14 or 15. Because they want, like, they check IDs, but no, like, if you printed it out from your printer at home, they don't fucking care. They
Yeah.
honestly, honestly, like, the reason why I got into graphic design is because I learned Photoshop to draw my comic, and people asked me to make their fake IDs.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. That's a
now there's some training.
yeah. And like I ended up fucking doing it all throughout high school because like the first time I ever like I was like, okay, how the fuck, like the first time they ever brought me to a club, I was 14, and they're just like, I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna get in? I'm like 3 foot tall, you know? They're like, no, 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 it's fine. Like I remember there's a very specific story I remember. My friend, he's from Canada too, so we were going to this club, and he's like, where's your ID? We're like, where's your ID? And Aaron, he goes, okay, it's okay, I got this. So he like pulls out this crumpled piece of paper from his pocket and unwraps it, and it's a Xerox photocopy of his Canadian passport. Not even like a color, Xerox, so it's like pure black and white piece of shit. And he's like, this is fine. And I'm like, no, you're not gonna get in with that. So we go to the entrance of the club. He hands this shitty piece of shit to the bouncer. Bouncer looks at Aaron, looks at it, and hands it to Aaron. And it's like, okay, let's go in. And I'm just standing there like, what? Like, how is that even fucking possible? So my friend Philip is just like, okay, well, I can't get in because I don't have an ID. And Aaron's like, it's okay, just take mine. And he hands Philip his black and white piece of shit Xerox photocopy of his passport. And Philip's like, no, no, like he saw it already. And Aaron's like, no, this go. So Philip walks up to the bouncer, hands the same Xerox photocopy that he had just seen like 2 minutes ago. Bouncer takes it, looks at Philip, and he's like, okay, go in. That's how bad it was there.
God.
They do not care. So
Like it seems like you could have just given him anything like a bank statement, and he would be like, "Yeah, go on in, I'll give it to you."
show them your library card or like no, it was ridiculous.
I'm just
You
imagining
just like pull
people
out a piece of
picturing-
paper and draw your face on it.
It's a picture of my cat.
Here I am.
It just says
Here I
I'm an
am.
adult.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. So like by the time I got to college in the U.S., everyone was just like, everyone was like, yeah, let's go party, and we were just like, I just want to kind of stay in and do laundry
Yeah.
and take care of my cat, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's kind of a little bit of both, I guess.
Hey, you're making it as a independent comic artist, so screw them, right?
For
Yeah.
real. For real.
Well, I mean, I hope they're being happy someplace, but whatever.
Yes, indeed. What are we gonna draw? I just feel like I gotta do at least 3 before I can call it a night.
I was just drawing a sweater, old man sweater, so I don't really know. Something fall related.
Oh, fall related. I love me some fall.
We should let Enzo choose. You the final say of the night. No pressure.
Dun-dun-dun.
One of the requests was from JJ. He asked to draw one of his characters, I believe. Tim
Uh,
Else.
I'm sorry, who said this?
JJ Parker in the chat asked
Oh,
to draw one of his characters, I believe.
Look at that. You keeping up the chat and everything. Like you've done live streaming before.
But I haven't actually scrolled up and seen any of the other examples. Oh no, there was what was it? Barney versus the Easter Bunny. That was one of the earlier requests. I actually started on
Barney
it.
versus the Easter Bunny. This sounds like a winner.
Yes.
Alright.
oh god, I got one for it. Okay.
Thanks, Teenage Wesley.
You're welcome.
Amazing.
Anytime.
First, let's see here.
I want to go home or to my parents' house and see if I can find those because they're somewhere.
Oh, dude, that'd be
I need them
amazing.
old. They're terrible.
That's something I've like, Netflix has some Barney stuff hiding in there. I wish
yeah.
Netflix would let me block specific titles for my children not to see.
Oh yeah.
No.
My son accidentally started the he likes playing with the control for for Netflix. And so they love watching things like Winnie the Pooh and Bob's Burgers and all that.
Yeah.
But then every once in a while they'll switch over to like Walking Dead because they're just hitting buttons.
Oh yeah.
So they have like a little bit of trauma there, a little bit there.
Is there a significance to like the kids section of the
A little drama here, a little drama there. Yeah, you
There
can set
is.
like parental controls, like profiles.
Okay.
Yes, you can, but we didn't do that in the beginning. So now my like choices are interlaced between like Scorsese films and then like Winnie the Pooh and different types of children's animation. So it's really kind of like they think. I mean, I'm sure their algorithm thinks I'm just a parent, but
Yeah.
I have but I have a if Dad thinks this is stupid rule, we don't watch it. So
Oh.
it's a good rule.
Yeah.
Well, some stuff is educational and cool, and some stuff is just like so devoid of any kind of structure, or it's like a surrealist nightmare. I don't know. Because something like a Pixar movie I support because there's like a plot structure, you're like following a story.
Yeah.
Good for their little brain, or at least I'll tell myself that because I find it entertaining.
I absolutely love like the movies that kind of like stick adult humor into the kids, just kind of like knowing that like I think Shrek was the best and worst offender of that. Like they have all this adult humor in it that like kids won't pick up on, which is perfect. Like like there's a part where you've all seen Shrek, right?
yeah.
I've seen the first one, I think.
First
yeah.
one. Okay, that's totally fine. So like there would be parts where when they see the really big castle for Lord Farquaad, they're like, you think he's compensating for something?
Yeah.
And then there's another when they're singing the song when they get into the castle, it's like it was like the lyrics led up to like like they're trying to make it rhyme with ass, but you expect it to rhyme with ass, and a kid wouldn't expect it to. But sorry, I'm explaining it pretty badly, but
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Those devils at DreamWorks.
Who would Rugrats would do that a lot actually. The show on Nickelodeon.
Really?
They always had that kind of adult mindset behind some of their jokes,
Now I feel like I need to go back and rewatch some of that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
What hidden dirty jokes did I miss in Rugrats?
Grandpa was like the grandpa, Tommy's grandfather. They're like, "Hey, come in the kitchen," and he's like, "Okay, I guess I'll see you later." Like, Bimbos in Space 4 or something like that. Like as a kid, I was like, "Okay, I don't know what that means." He didn't say Bimbos, so they're not gonna say that in Nickelodeon, but it was something like a kind word for a bimbo, And so obviously he's watching porn like in the middle of the day. I'm just like, okay.
That's fucking awesome. Oh,
Grandpa, no!
I just remembered one of the subtle jokes from Shrek as well. There was the part where this giant gingerbread man is like terrorizing the city, and he like sees this giant coffee cup of this coffee shop. It's supposed to, it's like all very very completely obviously Starbucks without using the Starbucks logo. And so the gingerbread man like attacks this coffee shop, and everyone in the store runs out of the store screaming into a coffee shop across the street. Like the exact same coffee shop.
Oh, that is subtle. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
it's just like, oh shit, I didn't catch that. And it's actually it was really funny because there's a street in Vancouver where there used to be they actually it's not anymore, but there were two Starbucks across the street from each other.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, this is fucking perfect.
I remember we had one here that like there was a Barnes and Noble that had one in it, and then in like the same strip mall there was like a Starbucks shop as well.
Uh-huh.
Because it changed from like a Borders to a Barnes and Noble. And I'm like, there are two Starbucks coffee shops
Oh
in the
my
same shopping center.
oh my
That's
God.
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Oh, Barney. I think Barney would be kicking the Easter Bunny's butt myself.
I agree.
I don't know how that voting went, Wes, but I think Barney
I
would be
think it was
like,
actually versus the Teletubbies, and I believe Barney won, maybe? I don't know.
Oh
There
my
was a
God.
whole plot where the Teletubbies were aliens, and then but Barney calls out like, for a series of minions of children to destroy them. So I believe that's how I ended it.
Do you guys you guys played Doom 2 right back in the day?
Doom?
Doom, yeah.
oh yeah, man. I remember installing it with like 6 hard disk.
It was like 5 1/4 floppies, but I remember somebody like when the internet was finally starting to catch on. Somebody made like a Barney. They replaced all like the Catholic demons and
I
stuff.
know
Yes.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
When people discovered what mods are.
Yeah. And so he would come up and be like, "Oh, I love," you know.
I'm like,
Oh
and
my
that's
God.
where
The song would
mod,
always
that's
start.
where mods come from, son.
Awesome. He actually got me thinking about like crossovers. You guys ever read that comic with X-Men meets the Next Generation cast?
No.
No.
I think I know what you're talking about though.
No
I
way.
know it exists, but
Yeah, it happened, and it's canon. Just FYI.
it's brilliant, right? There's no
Yes.
way that cannot be brilliant.
It's like that random time when like DC and Marvel worked on like some crossover stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah.
Amalgam. Do you remember that?
Amalgam, yes.
And you had like this like thing where they combined like Batman and Wolverine,
Yep.
and then the villain was a combination of the Joker and Sabretooth.
Oh yes, yeah. That was definitely like the Marvel versus DC.
The- The Jackal, I think it was called, or Hyena.
Yeah,
It was
Hyena,
something
Hyena.
like that. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Yeah.
what else would you call it?
Oh gee.
Yeah.
Why do I
Actually,
have all of this pointless crap in my head? I just don't.
that was actually a pretty good series. I enjoyed it a lot. The Marvel versus DC. Like they had a lot of other stuff. Like they combined Captain America with fucking who was it?
I can't. I was just trying to remember that one.
I think it was Batman. Or no, Batman was combined with Wolverine. Never mind.
Would it be Superman? It seems like it would.
Superman. Yes. You're right.
That was it. Yeah.
Superman, Captain America. Yeah. They had a bunch of like other obvious combinations like Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange Fate.
Yeah.
Fucking was like really Robin and Bucky.
It's like this is how obvious your ripoffs of each other are now.
Yeah.
That they actually parody each
Yeah,
other.
it's actually a shame it was too early for Deadpool and Deathstroke. 'Cause
Oh my
they're
gosh.
they're literally the same character. Just oh, okay, sorry, not literally, but they're like Deadpool was a inspiration of Deathstroke.
You know, we enforce use of the word literally
Yeah.
on this show. We're grammar guys, I tell you.
Yeah.
We are literally grammar guys.
Oh my
Literally.
goodness.
Uh,
It's true.
Literally.
Worst comic ever.
Have you guys kept up with The Simpsons at all? At
No,
all? Yeah, me
not
either.
not a darn bit.
Huge fan for so long, but like it's really been like
I remember
years.
it being a priority in my home on like Thursday or whatever day came on. I remember Mr. Burns dying, or not
That
dying,
was
being shot.
sweet.
Big shot,
Being
yeah.
shot, he did not die.
And everybody took bets who did it.
And it was like a crazy parody of an old soap opera called Dallas and no one knew, or General Hospital or something. And then there's that great episode with Troy McClure where he like did the retrospective, and he talked about who shot Mr. Burns, and like how the country was captivated by it, and he goes, and then it turned out the baby did it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
was huge.
great
That
how
was
they make
so
fun of
crazy.
themselves.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just love that they're self-deprecating. It's like back when Conan O'Brien was a writer for it.
Yeah, like season
Like when I
4
was
and all
watching
that.
it, yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he was like the monorail episode is one he did.
That's right, yeah.
The one with the gay guy where they did the whole steel mill bit and all that. Oh my
Hot
gosh.
stuff coming through. That was so
Yeah.
fun.
I actually have to admit that my dad did not allow me to watch Simpsons when I was growing up.
I didn't
Yeah.
either. I
We're the
wasn't
same
allowed,
way.
yeah.
Yeah,
We were
Bart's
not for a
attitude.
while. We were not for a while, and if you go back and watch it now, it seems so tame.
I know, exactly.
It
So I
seems
was
so
like-
tame.
Like you didn't let me watch Simpsons, but I was able to watch Family Guy. Like really? I don't know what your logic was here.
We weren't allowed to watch that. We weren't allowed to watch Simpsons because it said the word "damn" in it, a cartoon. Like, and then we weren't allowed to watch South Park for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Yes.
South Park was a good call. That part.
Yeah,
I
I
agree
think
with
about that now as a parent. Like, would I let them watch it? I was like, probably not
Probably
for a while,
not.
I guess. Just because I don't want them to go repeating like what they hear. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, trying to visualize hands. Stupid hands.
Oh, nice.
To be honest, I loved Futurama a lot more than I loved Simpsons.
That show's incredible, man. Like,
Futurama
so
was great.
if you ever get like the special features, they interview like a lot of the mathematicians that are consulting for the show because it's like a huge math geek.
Yeah, aren't like all the writers pretty much like fucking PhDs?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like one of the episodes actually got published in a mathematics journal. Like
No
scientific.
way.
Yeah, the body switching one, eh?
Yeah, because it was like there's a formula for the permutations of all that,
Yeah.
and they wrote like an entire paper on like how to devise it. It was a great episode.
Fucking ridiculous, yeah.
There's an episode with a lot of maybe it was Kirk, maybe it was classic Star Trek,
Uh-huh.
but there's a line where he says we're all just pawns in his giant game of checkers. And like that line, I'm just like, I now love this show forever because that is like such a subtle.
Yeah. They had
Oh
a,
yeah.
they had a lot of episodes with the original series cast.
Yeah,
actually.
there we go. It was
Or maybe
original series.
maybe a couple, yeah.
I was just like, I will now love this show forever because that is the most subtle, stupid joke ever.
Yeah.
Actually, didn't really. I actually haven't watched a lot of the Next Generation, to be completely honest.
Oh my God, you're missing out. Don't
I
cheat
grew-
yourself.
I grew up with Voyager.
Oh, you did?
That's the thing. That's the one I was
Voyager.
watching. That's the TV that was the show that was on TV when I was growing up. And I was
Okay.
watching it religiously.
Interesting.
Like I only started watching Next Generation once it got on Netflix, so I'm not even past season 1.
Okay.
Really, it's just because my brother is really the big Trekkie. So I was always watching the reruns.
Yeah.
Like they came on like some local channel at 10 every night or something, and
Uh-huh.
we
Yeah.
watch them together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Otherwise, I may never have been exposed to John Luke Pickard, and that would just be not a life worth living.
You know what's crazy is he has a French name, but he's English.
John Luke.
John, yeah, he's got like he has like a British accent or kind of like a English,
Yeah,
accent, but he's
yeah.
a completely French name, and I
I
always wondered
know,
like,
I
What
know.
is what is going on?
no big deal,
It's a
but
future thing, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
they can answer that question. That'd be nice.
I guess Paris has been completely absorbed
Future.
into England at this
Yeah.
point.
well, it happened in the Third World War, you know.
It's like, look, guys, it's the future.
World
It's
War
the future
Five.
of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the future.
It's the
But
future,
like
guys.
we were talking about holograms earlier, like the fucking like they're and one of the significant episodes from Voyager was this hologram uprising. Well, okay, so basically what happens is the ship gets taken over by these aliens called the Herodian,
Oh yeah.
and then they're like a hunting species, the hunting race. All they need to do is hunt. That's what they do. And because this one leader of the Herodian was like tired of hunting real people because he felt that it was driving their race extinct. So when he captured Voyager, like he actually when he realized that they had hologram technology, they're just like, oh my god, this is the answer to keeping our race alive. This is the way that we keep our race like from going and not going extinct. So, but the dilemma was that like these holograms are just fucking holograms. They're mindless. They're drones. They don't like feel pain. So what he did was he modified the program so they feel pain. He modified the program so they added all these like emotions and everything. And the story about the cast, like the Voyager cast, comes in where they come in is that they're trying to obviously free Voyager from these Herosian, but they're coming across this dilemma where they're just like, do we free these holograms? Are they like real people? Because they've been programmed with memories and all this shit now, so does it make them sentient? So that was like the question throughout the whole
Yeah.
episode, right? Like
It's
like you know, like Star Trek like loves bringing up these like moral dilemmas,
I see. That's a very next generation kind of plot.
I was gonna
Right?
say they did the one where it was like the data they had to prove data was like a
Yeah,
species.
I think
Yeah.
I've seen that one. Yeah, so it was just like it's pretty much the exact same concept, right? Like, what do you do? So at the end of the episode, they ended up just like freeing all these holograms in this ship that is specially built to display holograms, and it was just like, yeah, that's I don't know. It was very interesting. It brought up a lot of questions and answered less questions than I wanted. But that's pretty much what. Yeah, that was one.
The doctor was a hologram too, right? Like wasn't
Yes,
the doctor
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
he was.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, and that was actually one of the funniest episodes too, because there was one where there was this planet that what was it? It rotated really fast. It was like Interstellar. If you guys have ever
Love
seen
that
it,
movie. I have it on
yeah,
DVD. I read
nice.
fan fiction of that movie. Not trying to change the subject, but that movie's incredible.
Going all out here.
Fan fiction.
We are
Usually
going all
Yeah,
out.
this this Star Trek episode has the exact same concept. A planet that has a diluted time frame. So like if you go on it and you go there for 5 minutes, you come back, it's been like a year. So they needed to like I don't know, like Voyager was stuck in the orbit of this planet. So they had to send someone down to like kind of figure out a way to break Voyager free, but no one could do it except the Doctor because he's a hologram and he can't age, right?
Yeah.
So they send him down for like, and then obviously, of course, something fucks up, and they send him down longer than they should have, you know. So they ended up sending him for like 10 minutes instead of 5 or whatever. And when he comes back after 10 minutes, he's like, oh my god, I miss you guys so much. And it's like, what happened to you? And he like ended up like meeting a woman and falling in love and having babies with her. And they're just like, wait, but you're a hologram. How did you have babies? And he's like, I found a way. And that's it. They don't explain it at all.
What the heck?
That's like the whole episode. I'm like, what? How the like? No,
Holy
you need to
shit.
explain this.
That
Star
bothered
Trek.
you the whole time.
I like
Like,
that you would just leave them afterwards. He abandoned
Like,
it.
what?
Yeah.
Why even put that into the episode?
He
Yeah,
had like
that implies that he totally abandoned his family.
he did. He did.
Deadbeat dad over there.
He had children
Yeah.
and grandchildren and great grandchildren, and he just fucking left them.
It's so ridiculous.
In that
Did you
situation,
ever
I
see that
just like to
episode?
think the writer's like, this will really piss some people off. I'm just gonna throw
Did you
this
guys-
in.
Did you guys see the episode? It was actually one of the sad ones. Like he was like, I want a family, so he programs a hologram family, and then but they're all perfect and stuff. They're like, no, you gotta program some serious family problems into this
yeah,
whole
you have
thing,
to
and like
need some flaws, eh?
yeah, and he
Yeah.
programs his son to be a rebellious, like wannabe Klingon, and
Oh
all
my
these other
gosh.
things. But then like the episode goes in a total like the whole family's falling apart, and then all of a sudden one of the kids just straight up dies, and you're just like, holy shit! And then it's like the saddest crap, like the saddest ending I think like imaginable to that show. I was like, wow, this is a really touching moment. I can't believe they went that route.
Like, this is Star Trek. What is going on?
Yeah, I was like, we don't cry here. This is
Yeah.
this is Star Trek.
I have to admit though, like I have seen episodes that made me cry, like definitely.
No,
There
okay.
was there's this one where like I think so.
We're all just like, yes.
I've seen.
Oh. Yeah, so sad. I think there was one where like there was one that involved Tuvok who was Vulcan, and it was an episode where he loses his Vulcanness, I guess, so he gets really emotional, and like he forges this really really tight friendship with one of the other characters. But then at the end of the episode, they cure his un-Vulcanness, I guess, and he becomes a Vulcan at the end. And then it's just like the friend comes in, he's just like, "What about the times we had when, like, you know, like the whole like," and like Tuvok just looks at him, like, just nods at him, and you're just like shed manly tear after that because you know that Tuvok cares, but he can't show it.
Oh man, yeah.
Ah!
You're starting to get a little choked up, aren't you?
I know. I'm
Starting to get a
tearing
little
up.
choked up.
I'm tearing up right now. Like I'm wiping them away.
You didn't expect to cry tonight.
I didn't think we get so
Throwing it
emotionally
back.
raw.
I didn't pack for this field trip.
Feels. Oh my god, that's genius.
Well played.
Oh, I'm just hanging on to that one. That's pretty special. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Star Trek.
I love that show, man.
You just can't
Yeah.
help but talk about some Star Trek. I mean,
Yeah, I'm really sad that like it's gone. I mean, well, not gone, but like fucking Enterprise died.
Yeah, me
it'd be
too.
nice
Actually,
to have
like
another show.
they're coming. So you know, they just did an AMA with Michael Dorn, the guy who played Worf,
Yeah.
and he's trying to do a spin-off or like a new season of like the Worf Chronicles.
Hmm.
Or a season of the Worf Chronicles where like it basically explores like what he's doing now. I think it might be kind of like Michael Dorn trying to become relevant again,
Yeah.
but I would still
Yeah.
watch the hell out of it.
I would
yeah.
watch that in an instant, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, he's totally like milking what he's famous for, and the thing is, like, I would fucking watch. We would all watch it.
We would all do it.
Yeah.
Shame.
People call it milking, but like, no, yeah, we want to see it. It's
Yeah,
an audience.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think they were like trying to get funding for it through Paramount. You know, I
Mhm.
think there's a lot of like licensing of Star Trek from. I guess Paramount owns it. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like how like what the fuck happened with Enterprise, honestly?
Wasn't it like? Was it on the WB?
I'm not sure.
It was on some, random thing like that.
Just
Like
my,
so, all the shows. Here's my. I don't have beef with that show. I actually liked it, but all the shows had this like wonderful like symphonic openings about they just gave off this sense of exploring the unknown and everything.
Yeah.
And they pan over to Enterprise, Scott Bakula, and it's like the most CW opening I've ever seen, where there's like Michael Bolton singing into a mic.
oh yeah. Oh, I remember that. The theme song was very out there. It was very. I mean, I like people were complaining about it. Like I honestly thought it was okay, but it was different. Different
They're
enough.
trying to channel that Quantum Leap fandom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the montage they had along with the song was great, but like the song was just like so odd and out of place. I didn't really get it. It was kind of like I just didn't know what that's what I kind of think some people had griped about.
It was still early that century, I mean,
Yeah.
they still had the rock influence there.
He still had Michael Bolton.
Remember, like the guy, what was it in First Contact?
Yeah,
And
he
they
was in
like go
it.
off, and he's like, "Oh crap, we can't leave yet." And he like pops in the tape that's playing like Steppenwolf or
Oh my
something.
god.
He was actually in
Oh.
Enterprise in the opening episode
He
Oh,
was
yeah.
in some TNG too, I believe.
as that
Nice.
character. Though?
That
Was he in,
that
was that,
actor. No,
oh,
just that
okay.
actor.
What's his name?
The guy from
okay.
Babe.
Yeah,
That's all I
James
know.
Cromwell.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
I don't remember
Cromwell.
James Cromwell.
digging deep, man. That was
He-
good.
he's the most that guy like actor I think ever. You know.
Yeah,
Truly.
yeah.
That guy that was in that thing.
hmm Sad to see he's not in anything. He hasn't been in anything. I haven't seen him in anything for a while. The guy from Babe.
The guy from Babe and Star Trek.
Honestly, my
Mhm.
problem with Enterprise though was just like, I think they had a good start, and then there was that bit where like they're like thrown into this unknown region of space, and they had to find their way home. I'm like, what? Are we doing Voyager again? I didn't realize that like
Yeah.
it's exact. No. It was like, come on, guys, like, what the fuck?
I like Deep Space Nine. Did you guys ever watch Deep Space Nine?
You know, that's one I've heard so many good things about, but I never did it. I never
I
did
have,
that.
yeah, me as well. I've only watched a couple of episodes.
It's pretty good. Like some of the episodes are dumb, like where Jake, the son of Captain Sisko, tries to get like a date. And you're like, what are we doing here? You know, like this is stupid.
Yeah, that sounds
But like there
wonderful.
are
Tell
there's
me
some
more.
really was that?
That sounds wonderful. Tell me more.
Like, I'm into that.
I'm in. You've got me hook, line, and sinker.
I want to relive the worst parts of high school.
Yes. But on a
Please.
spaceship, guys, it's different.
But on a spaceship.
That's why everyone hated. We learned nothing from the Wesley Crusher episodes. Like,
Oh my god.
no one
Oh.
cares.
Shut up,
Teenagers in
Wesley.
space.
Shut up,
Teenagers in
Wesley.
space. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Not you.
We talked about this before. Do you remember that episode where like Data has a beard out of nowhere?
Yes, it's the
What?
opening like comic bit.
What?
It was so
Why?
incredibly funny. He's like, if I stroke my beard thusly, do I look more prestigious?
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Everyone's just like, stop, Data. You're making us all uncomfortable.
Cut
You
it
and your
out.
Tasha Yar hologram.
Mhm.
And your stupid cat.
Aw, what's the
Fuck
cat's
that guy.
name again?
Spot.
Spot.
Yeah. I know so much crap about the show now.
Touched a
After
nerve
watching
on the
it.
cat. We touched a nerve on the cat. Oh, Steven, I'm looking at your drawing.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
brilliant.
Thank you.
Oh, boy.
Dude, I miss Don Knotts. You guys like? I used to go back and watch. My grandparents. I'd stay with them for weeks at a time, and they loved watching like Don Knotts movies.
The incredible Mr. Limpet.
Yeah.
Until you said that sentence, I did not realize there were Don Knotts movies. So I'm a little out of the loop.
The Ghost and Mr. Chicken.
Oh, that was great.
Hello?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Oh,
Don Knotts?
No.
Andy Griffith's show?
No.
Oh my
Barney?
goodness.
Sorry.
This is amazing.
Barney Fife. Does that ring a bell?
No.
I like it. We just repeating the name of the character.
Barney?
Andy
Fife?
Griffith. Andy.
Andy?
Barney.
Barney?
Barney. Fight. This is not ringing a bell yet.
Sorry.
Mayberry?
No.
Ron Howard?
Howard.
Was it? Did you ever see Pleasantville?
Yes.
He was the old man who gave the remote to who's really like whiny and high pitched. He gave the remote to the main character.
I don't remember.
Okay. I got nothing.
Three's Company?
Sorry.
No.
John Ritter? What?
Well, Don Knotts was the old man in that show
The
with
old neighbor.
ridiculous scarves. That would be him. In a ladder role. Oh, yeah.
I remember the
Barney's-
Incredible Mr. Limpet. Like he turns into a cartoon fish and
He
helps
turns
out the
into a-
Navy.
He turns into a cartoon fish.
Like it
It
goes from
happened.
live action. It's very like just for his character, but it's very like Roger Rabbit-esque in a way. because of that.
All it needed was a little Bob Hoskins.
That's
Many
all any
recipes.
movie really needs. Is
Oh, Bob, man.
a
Little
little
Mario.
You think Bob Hoskins and Peter Falk ever like traded outfits? Yeah, that
These are the things you think about, huh?
you never know. I mean,
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I think Peter Falk is amazing, so
Peter Falk is amazing.
I'm with you, man.
Fuck yeah. How many shirts have you sold of that?
5 or 6.
Not bad. Still though, not bad. Are you still kind of like digging Teespring? T-Public?
Yeah, I'm digging it still. It's nice just to be able to put stuff up there and just let it go, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
What
like
happens?
the affiliate links thing is always nice
Nice.
because you get like whatever. Like I sold, I did a shirt design for another person, but they said that their shop under me, so I get another $1 every time they sell something. So yeah.
Nice.
Wait, so you kind of like recommended them, or they signed up because you recommended them or something
Yeah,
like that?
you give them like a sign up link that's basically under you, and so every time it's supposed to be for like the first 250 they sell, you get $1 each shirt, which is cool. So
That's pretty sweet.
yeah,
You kind of like
yeah.
get on their ass about like selling and stuff.
No, I'm
I need
just
that
like,
sweet $1.
Yeah, $1. I think I have like a person or two. I mean, I like their quality of shirt. You know, like that's the other thing is like I heard mixed things about some of the other competitors' qualities of shirt stuff, and
Yeah.
that's what made me go with them. So
Oh, you just passed the 50 mark, right?
yeah, so I can find out. Let's see, and look this up. No, I'm typing. Typing is
Are
hard.
any of you guys doing the comics thing full time?
No, I am
No.
not.
Hmm.
I would like to. Honestly, that's a dream of mine to kind of just be a artist full time.
Yeah.
And one day I will try and make that real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll see how like how the comic does, but you know, until
Okay.
it can like I'm not really pulling in a whole lot of money for it, and
Yeah.
if it ever actually did kind of supplement my income, then that would be
Mm-hmm.
the next logical thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm
Because I
not doing
mean,
it.
mm-hmm.
I didn't say I'm not doing it like full time, but I am doing freelance full time. So part of
Okay.
that's drawing comics for other people too and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I remember when you tweeted that you had finally quit your job, and I was like, that was awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. It's
that
been
was
really
like,
nice.
yeah, that was a huge transition for me as well. Like just like going from, it was scary as fuck.
Yeah.
But it definitely helps like having an SO who does work full time too,
Yeah.
because she does offset
Exactly.
a lot of costs that I would otherwise be taking.
You guys mind me asking, like, so I really want to do this, but like one of the things I guess you don't have to deal with this, Enzo, because you're in Canada, but like Wes, like if your wife wasn't like, are you on her insurance?
I am on her insurance. Yes.
Okay,
Mm.
I guess that's like not a concern in Canada, but like
Oh,
because you guys have incredible healthcare.
I do want to clear up this myth though, because people always go on about free healthcare in Canada. I'm paying $25 a month.
That's still pretty incredible.
For
25. I'll
for the
let you guess
basic,
what my healthcare premium is.
there's a basic plan, which is like, okay, so and it varies from province to province. In BC, it's about it's $50 a month for the basic plan. That includes like you go to the hospital and then you have like a torn penis, they will fix it.
Shit.
Is
Okay.
that the
I would hope
only
so,
thing
man.
they'll fix?
Yeah.
But
Let
then,
me just pull something out of the air.
but you have
Sorry.
to pay another premium if we want to go for dental if we need like extended healthcare, which includes like hospital stays. So you can go to the hospital and they'll fix your broken penis, but if you have to stay overnight, you have to pay extra for that. So
Okay.
it's
Like a
still
hotel
like
kind of.
it's not completely free. Like people go on about how like yeah it's free, it's free. It's not, but it's I guess yeah it is like you do like we do pay higher taxes because of it. Because people are out there like going into hospitals with a broken penis.
Indeed. And
Yeah.
those people need help.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they do.
Well, like
In
so,
America,
it's
some
so
people just
costly
have to
here.
deal. Yeah.
One of the problems is it's so costly here that I never go to the doctor, and so like a lot of people feel the same way,
Yeah,
and so a lot of problems start happening because it's so expensive, and then you just don't deal with it because you don't want to like spend all this money on the doctor and be broke forever.
yeah,
Like you can
yeah.
really like if you get fucked up like in a car accident and you have to be airlifted out,
Mhm.
you can easily like go into the $1 million range
Jesus
of
Christ.
like owing stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
it's just kind of like that's what it is here. It's pretty jacked up, but
Yeah,
that's
if you
why I
have
don't
to
go
help
full time.
them.
That's why I really want to stay. Like I want to do it, but
Yeah.
I can't, just rely on my wife's schedule.
Yeah, we looked out. My wife works with a state which has like insert on a little better healthcare. And when we looked at like one of us going part time, we looked at her originally, and or like to go like or to like stop working. Like we looked at her, but like to transfer everything over, even though I made more money, was
Mhm.
still like there's like a $30 difference because I would have to be paying for healthcare and it was so expensive under like my company's plan. So it ended up being smarter that I would go take off than she.
And so
Yeah.
when you did make the jump, was it kind of like did you have some bad months? Was it always like or did you kind of like jump in running and you had some work immediately, or did you go like a couple of months without anything?
Um. I mean, when I went full time.
Yeah, like that initial,
Um. Well, actually, when I did quit my job, I actually was doing. I did do a couple of freelance web design jobs, but obviously that's not the priority, right? Like it's kind of like I take them if I need them, but my priority is always like I want to do comics. I want to make money with comics. If I'm gonna starve next week, I should probably do a web design job.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I've never reached that point. But like, if I ever get close to it, like yeah, I should probably take a freelance job. I'm very lucky to have like, because my old boss likes to refer old work that they can't take at the office to me. So I'm very lucky that like I have like a contact. Um, but I've never really been in a position where I'm like, oh shit, I need help, Like just because like web design jobs are pretty, what's the word for it? I mean, they're not hard to find online, you know? Even without just like having someone referring you constantly. It's just like people need websites.
Yeah, everybody needs a
hmm
website.
Mm-hmm.
And
They don't even know why they need a website. They just know they need one.
exactly. And like my specialty has always been WordPress sites. And that's what fucking people love because generally like and because like I focus on WordPress because I wanted to make a fucking webcomic site with WordPress. And people just love using WordPress just because like it's easy, it's fast to learn, and
Yeah.
everyone.
Gotta say, I've avoided doing WordPress for
Yeah,
a long time, but I eventually gave in just because it's what
yeah,
people want.
yeah, no, definitely.
So now I've done
Like
one,
it's
There's
yeah.
a
fucking
huge,
Or I've done a few
there's a
actually.
huge
WordPress.
like resource for them too. Just like
WordPress powers a
It
third of the
power.
fucking internet.
Yeah, Jesus.
29%, which
the
is
rest is Angel
ridiculous.
Fire codes.
Angel Fire.
Angel Fire,
Man, this takes me back.
Tripod.
GeoCities.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh my goodness.
That was like the era
Yeah.
of the dancing baby, right? Where everybody had the annoying shit encounters on their website.
Yeah. That was like the first meme that went on Ally McBeal. Stupid dancing baby showed up.
Yeah, it became like that was so weird because it became like a character on that show.
Yeah.
Like it was like that was her hallucination was a CGI baby coming in and dancing for no
Yeah,
reason.
that was the baby she could never have. I don't know if that's true, but it seems like it was the point. All of your Barneys versus Easter bunnies are hilarious.
Enzo, go watch a lot of Don Knotts movies. I think you enjoy
How
them.
do you spell that?
Don space.
Yeah.
Space, you had to
I'm
put it
sorry.
to space.
Knotts.
It's 2 words. It's a first name and a last name.
Sorry, man. I hope that didn't sound condescending. Like I didn't mean it to come off that way.
Oh, I need to go to sleep. I'm finding all this way too funny now.
So what's next for you, man? What's next in Enzo's world?
Enzo's World.
Yeah,
Is that the name of your new webcomic, Enzo's World?
like Bobby's world. That'd be
You can
awesome.
use, you can use
Oh,
that name, man, if you want. We'll let you use it.
um,
We'll let you use that.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I'm doing this thing full time, but it's kind of like the borderline minimum that I need to be doing. As in, like I'm making rent, which is the
Yeah.
number one priority, and food. Um, Rent and food. That's the important thing. So the only thing next is I don't know.
What about
Just
like
trying to
merchandise? You think?
merchandise. I have stuff. I have like shirts and shit, but I don't sell it online. I just sell it at cons.
Hmm.
I guess yeah, definitely like an online store is the next goal for me, you know. But like I said, remember, it's just like I should build it myself instead and take like a year to do it, as opposed to setting up in 5 minutes on Shopify or some shit.
I'm doing a Shopify site right now.
Yeah, yeah. Like, it's definitely something I need to do like soon. But that's the thing, cause like, and I've been talking to Tapastic about this too, cause a lot of the people there feel the same way. Like, since we're webcomic artists, we are already providing a free product, you know, and
Yeah.
like we should like making merchandise is a kind of like it's a road that a lot of people take, but some people don't, and I'm kind of like I feel like I'm in that camp, you know, because merchandising feels like to me like oh I'm using up all this time to make all this stuff when I could be making more comics, because that's ultimately the preference. That's ultimately what I want to do at the end of the day. I want to draw more comics. I want to tell more stories. I don't want to
So you
spend.
want Tapastic to kind of come in and set up stores for the artists, like, or at
I
least a
think
form of like incentive to
yeah.
promote the artist more.
I think that might be their goal. Like I don't know what their goal is in the future, but I think that maybe the direction that they're going. You know, like they're obviously moving away from the support program, but like I think that what they want to do ultimately is like they've always been like oh they want to because obviously their success is based on their creator's success,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
yeah,
People aren't doing good on capacity. They don't do well, so of course they have like their success is tied with ours. Um, but that's why, like, you know, ultimately, like, when I talked to them very, very early on, like maybe like last year or the year before that, they were like, oh, you know, we want to see, maybe we want to like help, we want to take care of the merchandising side of for webcoms. We want to take care of their marketing. We want to take care of everything, and then we can just focus on the drawing and on the storytelling, you know, and that sounds like a fucking good deal, eh? Like,
yeah, yeah.
and I mean, hopefully they can reach that point where they're doing that. Like behind them 100%. Merchandising for me is just like, do I have to? You know, like I mean, I will do it if I need to, and I mean, I'm doing it right now. But at the end of the day, I would just want to draw comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I've considered at some certain points, like my site got blasted by like a payday loan scam one time, and I was
Mm.
just like another time it happened with something different, but I was so frustrated that I really seriously considered either moving into a Tumblr or
Yeah.
something along those lines, just abandoning the old WordPress. But I mean, I've actually even more so now considered going into Tapastic like full. But it's just something like it's just you know it's kind of a hard decision to make. It's because you're completely reliant upon every little policy change I guess they would make. And I think they actually just they just reshuffled their staff, I believe, right? So I was talking to David. I think so. Yeah, I was talking to David Bainman about it,
Yeah.
and he was saying that it's a completely new COO and
Oh yes,
guess,
they did. Min was the old COO, and he left to join another company in Korea with his friends. So, and then Peter Munn, he was the director of. I'm not exactly sure what his exact role was, but he left as well. There are a lot of new faces, but I don't know if that's directly tied to their business model change
Okay.
at all. What else did David say though?
No, that was about it, really. I was
Okay.
just kind of he's kind of in the same boat where he loves Tapastic and what they do, and I think I think he's a little bummed about the support loss, the loss of the support program, but I think he's unsure as to where they're going, but excited. But I think he's also kind of with Webtoons too now, so I think he's hedging his bets either way.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to go. Oh, there's one thing I've heard a lot of things about Webtoons, and they seem to pay their artists well, right? The only thing I guess that bothers me about is the exclusivity. I mean, I understand that they need to make money, need to give incentive for people to go to their site, right? But I don't know. The exclusivity thing is just kind of I guess they are paying for it. I don't exactly know what. Do you know what they're paying the artists that are contracted by them?
I've heard. I don't know. Do you guys know?
Any?
Oh, no idea.
I've heard a couple thousand a month, but it depends really. And I think if you're at a certain tiers, if you're bringing in the traffic, they might pay you more.
Definitely, yeah.
But it's like a contract scenario where everybody I've talked to about it is on board for 3 months at a time, and you don't know if you're going to get if you're going to re-sign on or not.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you get paid through Tapastic, do they not have exclusive rights to the ones that they're paying you for?
They do not.
Okay, that's incredible.
I wanted to make sure that was because
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's Tapastic.
We
I are ready, man.
were just pouncing.
We are ready.
We were gonna pounce on those puns.
It's like all this grown-up talk about bills.
Oh.
I love how you guys think the like-mindedness of you two. That was incredible. Just it snapped on at the same moment.
Dude, we're ready.
We're there.
I was born ready for this, man.
This is the moment my life was prepared for. It all came out of that. And Nick was there to steal it. Yeah. So. Yeah. Cool.
Glad I could help, man. Glad I could help.
It's the backup plan in Game of War. What is going on?
Nick, that pony is incredible.
This Easter Bunny is getting a tooth knocked out of his
I know, that is an intense Easter Bunny.
Steven liked my Hulk punching a rhino.
I did.
So I'm like, he'll like this, yeah.
I like that one as well.
That was great.
Your comic should just be something punching or kicking something else.
Oh, that'd be
great.
The entirety of your comic.
This week,
yeah.
I would start with me punching each presidential candidate in the face.
I love it. I'm in.
Yeah. I'll buy that book.
Yeah.
Wesley, did I draw the presidents? I do. I punched the presidents.
Nice.
I punched each and every single one of them in their stupid faces.
Nice.
What's that? Rough Riders? Huh, Teddy? Bam! Punch to the face.
See, Teddy is the only one I don't think I'd punch because I'm afraid he would retaliate.
I'm like, oh, what's that, FDR? New Deal? Here's my deal. Punch to the face.
Manifest destiny!
Right. Let me manifest my foot up your butt.
Suck it, Polk.
Wham!
Was the I Draw the President's book like a project, or was it something you just kind of always wanted to do?
I wanted to make a reason to put a book together, so it was like, let me one do the challenge of like trying to draw each of the presidents.
So
I like
you're history nerdish, right?
I am history nerdish.
Because I remember our history professor seemed to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
us, each of us, yes.
Yeah, that was what. Yeah, we were in a different class together about like interviewing people and like designing books around that concept. And so they had a history professor came in, and me and Nick had taken him separately. And I think what our teacher was like, after he left, he said like, two of my favorite history students were in there. I was like, I don't even think he liked me.
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, I
Yeah,
thought you didn't like me.
It was in reference to, I guess, the two of us.
It was something like, he tried
sounds really
to get you guys in the history program. I'm like, we never had that conversation ever. But
never.
I'm glad
Maybe
they
just
liked
gave
me.
us like glances.
He was a very violent. He was a man that would swear randomly, and it was hilarious.
Yes, that was the best.
Hilarious.
It was. He laced them in, so I always laced them in on my essay. Like,
He was like, Joseph Stalin was a son of a bitch. That's like the way he opened. I'm like, this is great. I'm in.
I think I told you guys this before, but we had a history professor who we took like a test, and before he passed the test back out, this is in high school, he wrote like Oxford, all these big name schools like Yale and Harvard on the board, and he crossed them out and was like, none of you will be going to any of these schools.
Oh my gosh.
We were all so like, I laughed hard because I was like, this is the funniest shit I've seen in so long.
And brutal.
Oh, and now you're making 4 times his salary, so,
F that guy. He would always do the how he always had the Pledge of Allegiance. He would always be like, with liberty and justice for some. And that was how he.
He's just a ray of sunshine.
Yeah, he was just so hated his job.
Ray of sunshine. He's like, and now we're watching Saving Private Ryan. Then you're like, didn't we just watch Saving Private Ryan yesterday? We're watching it again. And you're gonna like
American History X next, just to let you know.
You're gonna watch it every day for the rest of your life.
I'm hungover. Here's Forrest Gump.
Right. Oh, we're on the 60s now. That's Forrest Gump's territory. Was that a little earlier? Now we're transitioning to League of Their Own.
Yet another movie where Tom Hanks like pees all over the place.
Yeah. I like the idea that you had a movie rack somewhere that's just movies that are like Tom Hanks like urinating. Big.
That's how they're divided. Like Tom Cruise running.
And this one, Al Pacino shouts. Al Pacino shouting at me.
Hooah!
John Bean dies.
This is my collection
Yeah,
of
exactly.
Tom Cruise on a motorcycle. This is my collection of Done Knots turning into anthropomorphic animals.
What's the other one? Like Brad Pitt eats. Brad Pitt is always eating. If you watch Ocean's 11, he just does not stop. Like, why is he not fat?
Like, what the hell is that guy chewing on right now? I don't understand this.
The scenery, that's what he should know. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a terrible. We should call it a night, I think.
Yeah, that was fun. This is a good one. Enzo, this is really cool. This is great.
Yes, thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
Come back on, kids. Like whether or not you have kids one day.
Absolutely. Are we calling it?
I think so.
Awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me. This was really fun.
Did it evolve that much? I got to see everyone's drawings real quick.
Okay.
Wondrous.
Check everything out. Let's see. I think we usually
Beautiful.
do outros.
Oh yeah, let's outro away. Wesley, begin.
Yeah. So I'm Wesley Hall from NamelessPCs.com.
I am Stephen McGee of RainDogComic.com.
I am Nick Pruitt of at Nerd Pruitt and hanging out with these guys.
And I am Enzo from Cheer Up Emo Kid and MakeWebComics.com.
Nice. We'll see you guys the Saturday after next.
Yeah, 2 weeks away.
2 weeks
Yeah.
away. Thanks for hanging out. And
Thanks, guys.
Woo!
goodbye.